Eventually.
Okay.
Voila.
Great.
All right, so this is about everybody, huh? We're going to go ahead and take the ship up.
אם לא מבינים משהו, אז להגיד לי. אוקיי? תתקרב.
Excuse me? Was you meeting anyone from the Kipparas coming?
What?
Was anyone from the Kippara coming?
I don't know who's coming and who not.
I didn't know if they know that it's here.
I told them you can check.
Okay.
Okay. Great.
Don't worry, we'll keep hitting on the preliminaries.
So, אתה צריך תרגום כל משפט, או איך אתה צריך? He needs translation.
All right.
Like every little, כל כמה משפטים.
All right. So I'm Elitom El-amin from Ohio, USA. And I'm here in Israel and also traveling around the world to teach people about Breatharian, that's what they call it, or living on prana. And what that is that's a skill that a person could develop through meditation and a holistic lifestyle where you can eat very little or none at all.
אז אליתום אל-אmin הוא מסתובב ומלמד בכל העולם באופן בינלאומי את הנושא של אורח חיים של קיום מפרנה, שזה יותר כוח של נשימה, עם מעט מאוד אוכל או בכלל ללא צורך באוכל.
Now, when a person first hears about food freedom, of course it's a shocker because we as a human family, you grew up in a realm where everybody's eating and everything in nature is eating.
עכשיו אנחנו רגילים להסתובב בכל מקום שאנשים אוכלים והטבע ניזון, אז יש לנו את המושג של תזונה מוטבע בתוכנו.
But once the knowledge is properly explained to you and given to you and it makes sense, you will find out how user-friendly it is when you could do it yourself.
ברגע שהידע הזה מגיע אליך, תראה שלמעשה זה ידידותי וקליל.
Now, this is what it boils down to. When we've been taught the right way on, you need to eat.
חינכו אותנו שאנחנו חייבים לאכול.
Because you need energy in order to live.
ואנחנו מוכרחים אנרגיה על מנת להתקיים.
Now, the physical body, everybody's used to the physical body.
כולנו רגילים לגוף הפיזי.
And the physical body needs food.
הגוף הפיזי צריך אוכל.
Or better yet, it needs energy, being in this realm.
או במימד הזה זקוק לאנרגיה.
And the physical body needs to sleep, it needs to drink,
הגוף הפיזי צריך לאכול, צריך לשתות.
and the physical body was born from here, so it wants to stay here.
והגוף הפיזי נוצר כאן באדמה ורוצה להישאר כאן.
And it's already connected with nature. It was born in a nature.
והגוף הפיזי כבר קשור ומחובר לטבע, כי הוא נולד כאן בטבע.
And we got educated on how to deal with the physical body, and all of humanity has been on a survival level to take care of the physical body to stay alive.
וחינכו אותנו כדי לשרוד ברמה האנושית שאנחנו צריכים לדאוג לגוף האנושי.
However, there's another aspect of ourselves. We have an energy body.
יש לנו מימד נוסף שזה גוף אנרגטי.
Now, in school, we were not really educated on the energy body. You just heard about the energy body through religion. It was called spirit.
בבית ספר לא חינכו אותנו מה זה הגוף האנרגטי, לימדו אותנו בלימודי דת שזה נקרא נשמה.
But now this is a good age we live in because we have equipment that can show you your energy body.
ובזמן הזה, בעידן הזה, יש לנו מכשור שיכול למדוד את הגוף האנרגטי.
You have an electromagnetic field that comes off your body that they call your aura, that we got instruments where we can see it on our bodies.
יש לנו שדה אלקטרומגנטי ואנחנו יכולים לראות אותו בעזרת מכשירים.
And then you got a neural system or a neural network of connections that shoots electricity all throughout the body just to move the hand, just to move the feet. So you are an electrical system, and that is the basis of your physical body.
יש לנו מערכת עצבית שהיא פועלת על חשמל ושולחת שדרים, תשדורת לכל הגוף ונוירונים, חלקיקי חשמל בערוצים.
And this is a good age we in because even science in the medical field is getting more educated on this energy body that we have.
ובזמן הזה גם השדה של המחקר והמדע מקבל יותר ויותר חינוך ומידע על הגוף הזה שיש לנו.
But the energy body, guess what? It don't come from here like the physical body.
והגוף האנרגטי לא מגיע מפה כמו הגוף הפיזי.
That's why when you go to a funeral, the body is laying there, but the energy is gone.
ולכן כשאנחנו הולכים ללוויה, הגוף שוכב פה והאנרגיה נעלמה.
It went back whence it came,
האנרגיה הלכה לאן שהגיעה.
wherever that is. Now, the energy body don't need physical food.
הגוף האנרגטי אינו זקוק לתזונה פיזית.
The energy body don't need to sleep.
הגוף האנרגטי אינו זקוק לשינה.
It don't need to drink.
אינו זקוק לשתייה.
But it's part of you.
והוא חלק מאיתנו.
It is you.
הוא אנחנו.
But there's this battle going on with these two bodies, and what happened was, it ain't our fault. We just been educated on how to take care of the physical body.
ויש לנו מאבק בין שתי הכוחות האלה, וזה לא אשמתנו, כי חינכו אותנו רק איכשהו להסתדר עם הגוף הפיזי.
And the physical body lives for the moment. That's what it does.
והגוף הפיזי חי בשביל הכאן ועכשיו.
But the energy body thinks about growth and development.
הגוף האנרגטי חושב על צמיחה והתפתחות.
That's why I don't care who it is. They could be living their life a certain way, then all of a sudden something come in them to say, I need to better myself, or I need to do this, or I need to start doing this. That's the energy body crying to grow.
יש אנשים שפתאום חווים איזושהי התעוררות לעשות משהו יותר משמעותי עם החיים שלהם, וזו ההתעוררות של הגוף האנרגטי שרוצה לצמוח, הקריאה שלו.
Now, the energy body, it wants to grow because even though it's in every human being, this light is low. It's not the physical body has dominance over our electrical body.
לגוף הפיזי יש כוח של יתרון מעל הגוף החשמלי, והתדר שלו יותר דחוס.
So that's why we have spiritual practices like meditation, breath work, working with light, working with sound. All of those tools is to build up our energy body.
ולכן יש לנו תרגולים רוחניים שונים, מדיטציות, תרגולים כדי לבנות את גוף האור שלנו.
And if you stay consistent with building up your energy body, it will grow bigger because it is bigger than your physical body. You just can't see it.
ואם אנחנו נהיה בהתמדה בשביל לבנות את הגוף האנרגטי שלנו, יצמח ויהיה יותר גדול מהגוף הפיזי, וכך הוא בטבע שלו, אנחנו פשוט לא רואים את זה.
And this knowledge is ancient. That's why the pharaohs in Egypt said their physical bodies got fed by their light bodies.
והידע הזה הוא ידע עתיק, משום שהפרעונים במצרים הזינו את הגוף הפיזי מגוף האור שלהם.
In ancient Egypt, they got the staff with the two serpents coming up, and those connections fed the physical body. Your physical body is just a small portion of who you are.
במצרים העתיקה יש את הסמל של האמות עם שני הנחשים משני הצדדים, והם מראים על ההזנה של הגוף הפיזי ולהראות לנו מי אנחנו באמת.
So now the knowledge is coming out that the old spirituality or religion put down the physical body, and we just said our energy body is going to leave and go somewhere else up in the sky, and that was it.
הדתות למעשה הנמיכו את הגוף הפיזי ואמרו שהגוף הפיזי מתפורר והגוף האנרגטי ייעלם לאנשהו בשמיים ובזה זה נגמר.
But what we didn't know, that if you work on your energy body, it will stay here and not only get bigger to feed the physical body, it can stay here for a very long time if you give it the right incentive to stay.
ואם אנחנו נעבוד על הגוף האנרגטי שלנו, הוא למעשה יכול להישאר פה לתקופה מאוד 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 ארוכה, עם אישור להישאר באופן בלתי מוגבל.
It leaves because we did not prepare a proper place or a vessel so it can continue. So we kicked it out through ignorance.
אנחנו לא הכנו מיכל ראוי לשמר את הגוף האנרגטי, ולכן בעטנו אותו החוצה דרך נבערות.
So now we're getting the knowledge. Now, even though I teach longevity / physical immortality, if you can't handle that, you can handle biological immortality. Now, what is that?
ואני מלמד או אריכות ימים, חיים נצחיים, ואם אנחנו לא נדע איך לטפח ולשמר את הגוף הפיזי, לא נוכל לשמר את הערכים האלו.
Biological immortality is people that are in biology will look at the physical body and say there's no reason why it should die because it's constantly regenerating itself.
נצחיות ביולוגית היא כאשר היצור מסתכל, האדם מסתכל על הגוף שלו ואומר למה הגוף הזה בעצם צריך להתעורר? כי הוא כל הזמן מחדש את התאים שלו ואת המערכות.
So if it was placed in the right atmosphere with the right lifestyle, it could go a very long time, just like any other piece of equipment.
ואם ישימו את הגוף הזה בתנאים הסביבתיים הנכונים, הוא יכול להמשיך לזמן מאוד מאוד ארוך, כמו כל ציוד או מכשור אחר שדואגים לו.
Now nobody's arguing, it still could get hit by a bus.
יכולות לקרות תאונות, כמו תאונת אוטובוס.
So that's why they call it biological immortality. On one level, our life is based on our thinking and how the lifestyle we're living.
החיים שלנו מושתתים על אופן החשיבה שלנו ואיך אנחנו חיים, ולכן זה נקרא נצחיות ביולוגית.
So now, let's take a look at something real key here. Now, this isn't new knowledge. It isn't that we're making it up. This is ancient knowledge that's resurrected itself. And breatharian comes from the ancient word anidia, which means to eat very little or none at all.
זהו ידע עתיק שפשוט מחיה את עצמו ומתעורר ומתגלה, והגוף הזה נקרא אנידיה, שהמשמעות שלו או הדרך הזאת זה לא לאכול בכלל או לאכול מעט מאוד.
Now, meditation is the foundation of food freedom. If you put tape on your mouth right now and say you're not going to eat no more, you're going to have problems.
אם תשימו נייר דבק על הפה שלכם ותציעו שאתם לא ממשיכים לאכול מעתה, יהיו בעיות. המדיטציה היא התשתית של הדרך הזאת.
Because the physical body was made here on planet Earth, planet Terra. So just like any other animal is saying, what are you going to give me for my energy?
הגוף הזה נוצר פה על המישור האדמתי, וכמו כל חיה אחרת הוא תובע את התזונה שלו בשביל האנרגיה שלו.
So meditation is the foundation because meditation is the tool that will get you your other energy source.
המדיטציה היא התשתית, משום שדרך המדיטציה תספק לנו את האנרגיה הנדרשת.
You'll get the other energy source from sleeping. When you sleep at night, that's unconscious meditation.
השינה היא מדיטציה לא מודעת וגם היא מזינה אותנו.
And then unconscious, how should we say this? Unconscious meditation. Now conscious meditation is when you are consciously meditating. All you got to do is relax. And the body is a good conductor of energy that charges itself up just like a cell phone.
מדיטציה בצורה מודעת היא פשוט שהגוף נכנס למצב של רוגע כאשר התודעה ערנית, ואז הגוף מטעין את עצמו מהאנרגיה בדיוק כמו שטלפון, אייפון מטעין את עצמו מהחשמל.
And there's many meditations out there. Get the one that you like, but all of them should be geared towards opening up your energy channels in your body so you can get more energy in your body or your energy body can grow.
תמצאו את המדיטציה שמתאימה לכם ופשוט תיישמו אותה כדי שתתחילו להכניס יותר ויותר אנרגיה לתוך הגוף כדי שהגוף האנרגטי יתחיל לצמוח.
And meditation is so powerful, it's medication.
המדיטציה היא כמו רפואה, כל כך עוצמתית.
If you really know what it's about and learn how to do it, it can heal you from any sickness, illness, and disease.
המדיטציה יכולה לרפא
Did I say that?
אותנו מכל מחלה ומכל תחלואים, אם באמת נדע איך ליישם את זה.
Now, of course, you're adding in other things with diet, exercise. Nobody's arguing that. Good social structure, good friends. But meditation is just that powerful because it gets you directly in contact with the source of your being.
המדיטציה מחברת אותנו ישירות למקור ההוויה שלנו, ויחד עם זאת יש לנו את האיזון של צרכים חברתיים, דיאטה נכונה, מנוחה, תרגול, פיזי.
Now, in the arts of meditation, there's a meditation portion that's called Samadhi. Anybody ever heard that before, the word Samadhi? Going into Samadhi.
בתוך האמנות של המדיטציה, אז יש לנו את המושג של סמאדי, להיכנס לתוך המצב הזה של סמאדי.
Going into the state of silence.
מצב של שקט, שתיקה, עמוקה.
Sometimes people explain when they went there and they'll tell their experience.
ויש אנשים שחוו את זה ויכולים לתאר את החוויה שלהם כשהם היו במצב הזה.
And you can kind of tell if you had the experience of being there slightly. It's like a quick wake-up call when you went into your true self and you felt all of this love, all this connection. Everything's connected. You felt it.
ברגע שהאדם חווה את המצב הזה, מרגישים באופן בלתי ניתן לערעור את החיבור הישיר הזה, שהיא אהבה עוטפת וחובקת כל זה, פשוט בן אדם יודע שהוא היה שם.
But a person ain't stay there long because guess what? Their physical body is saying, come back home. This is where I'm born.
בן אדם לא יכול להישאר שם באופן רגיל הרבה זמן, כי הגוף הפיזי מושך אותו בחזרה ואומר, אני נולדתי כאן, תחזור לכאן.
And if it still have rule over your life and is bigger than the energy body, it has say so.
ואם הגוף הפיזי יותר גדול מהגוף האנרגטי, אז הוא יכול לקבוע בשביל הגוף האנרגטי.
So that's why there's a great work to take place in a person's mind that I want to keep the light here. So what I need to do is make the light inside me grow till it becomes bigger than the physical body to nourish it.
אז האדם רוצה להילחם ולהחליט שהוא מפתח את גוף האור, שהגוף האור יהיה יותר חזק מהגוף הפיזי ויתחיל להזין את הגוף הפיזי.
So I'm going to have to meditate till I learn how not to just experience this silence slightly, but to maintain it and keep it a lot longer to stay in that state.
ואני צריך לפתח את ההרגל של המדיטציה, לבדוק באופן קבוע ולהישאר בתוך התדר של המדיטציה כדי לפתח את המצב הזה ולהרחיב את הכלי.
Now let's try to make sense of it on what we're looking for and why. Now read, this is dealing with silence in number 1.
בוא נראה מה אנחנו מחפשים ולמה אנחנו מחפשים. Breatharian art of silence, Samadhi, complete absence of sound, היעדר מוחלט של צליל.
It's the complete absence of sound. Is that possible to reach that type of state?
האם אפשרי להיות במצב?
If it ain't, we might as well quit. But we got to see what they're talking about in Samadhi. Because if you don't know the goal and what to look for, you will never reach these stages and everything will just be talk.
אם אנחנו לא יודעים מה לחפש בדיוק, אנחנו לא נגיע למצב הזה וזה יישאר בגדר תיאוריות.
Now read definition number 2.
Cause to become silent,
It's the cause to become silent
forbid or prevent from speaking.
or prevent from speaking. So usually when we think of going into silence, we think of number 1, shut your mouth.
בדרך כלל כשאנחנו נכנסים לשתיקה, מחשבה ראשונה היא לסתום את הפה.
And they got retreats of silence where that's what people do. We having a day of silence and nobody says nothing. Good training.
יש לנו ריטריטים כאלה שאנשים נכנסים ליום, ימים של שתיקה, וזה תרגול התחלתי טוב, לא מדברים.
But a lot of people are still missing the point. That's not what Samadhi is talking about. It's just a portion of it. Because have you ever met a person that don't talk a lot? They're a quiet person.
הרבה אנשים מפספסים בדיוק את הנקודה הזאת. האם נתקלתם באנשים שקטים שלא מדברים הרבה בחיים שלכם?
But because you don't use your mouth, don't make you a quiet person. Because 93% of our communication is nonverbal. Uh-oh.
99% מהשיח שלנו הוא ללא מילים. אז זה שיש אנשים שקטים, זה לא אומר שהם באמת שקטים בתוכם.
So now it's kind of making sense. 93% of communication that you giving off is non-verbal.
99% מהתקשורת היא ללא מילים.
So that means you're communicating, you're making sound another way.
אנחנו מייצרים צליל ובדרך אחרת.
But going into samadhi, you want to go into silence.
וכשאנחנו נכנסים לסמאדי, אנחנו רוצים להיכנס לתוך השתיקה.
So a breatharian is a person who's a walking samadhi. See, I'm quiet.
אז אדם שמוגדר ברת'ריאן, נשימתי אנחנו יכולים לקרוא לזה, הוא שתיקה מהלכת.
I've learned how to be nourished by being quiet.
לימדתי את עצמי איך להיות ניזון מפשוט להיות בשתיקה.
And I don't need to be in a meditation room all day long. I've learned to walk around amongst people and I'm the most quietest person there.
ואני לא צריך להיות בחדר מדיטציה כל היום, אני יכול להסתובב גם בתוך המולה של אנשים ולהיות האדם השקט ביותר שם.
Because I understood that most of my communication is not verbal that's out of my mouth.
והוא הבין שרוב התקשורת שלו היא לא תקשורת שבאה מהפה.
Because there are some people that's quiet, don't say much, but their life is in shambles.
יש הרבה אנשים שהם שקטים ויש להם הרבה בלגן בתוך הראש ובחיים שלהם.
Energetically, that's a loud person.
ומבחינה אנרגטית זה בן אדם שהוא רועש.
They're making noise all over the universe. That's why you see all of the static.
הם מייצרים המון רעש ותעודות
Oh, but they're quiet.
בכל היקום. אבל הם נראים לכאורה שקטים. הם מייצרים קצרים.
Now, oh, this is kind of making sense now.
Alright.
Now, wait a minute. Now we go on. Now, listen at this. This is dealing with music. Now, music, we all like our music, the words of it, the instruments, making the sound. Now, a lot of people, we listen to the sound of music, the words, it sound beautiful. But a person who's deep in the music knows that the silence is just as important as the sound to make the music.
אנחנו אוהבים לייצר אנשים שהם מוזיקאים, לייצר מוזיקה, לשיר, אבל בן אדם שהוא עמוק בתוך המוזיקה, אז הוא יודע שהמרווחים של השקט הם חשובים בדיוק כמו הצלילים.
Because silence is the canvas that music is painted on.
השתיקה היא הירייה שעליה מציירים את המוזיקה.
This realm that we live in, this is what the mystics was telling you, is on top of nothingness. It's on top of a canvas. But the nothingness your mind can't perceive. Oh, go ahead.
הממד הזה שאנחנו חיים בו, הוא נמצא מעל איזשהו מרחב ריק, והמוח לא יכול להכיל את המרחב הזה, לתפוס אותו.
And let's bring it back home. Your physical body is being influenced by more unseen forces that you can't see, that you can't hear, than what you see and hear.
הגוף הפיזי שלנו מושפע מכוחות בלתי נראים, יותר אפילו מאשר הכוחות שאנחנו רואים אותם ותופסים אותם בהכרה שלנו.
Now your light body that's inside of you, that's not from here, is connected with all of that. It's the one that's whole and it's one. It don't need to be nourished by nothing else.
והגוף שלנו, של האור האנרגטי, הוא מחובר לכל זה, הוא אחד, הוא באחדות, והוא לא צריך להיות ניזון משום דבר אחר.
So through your work, now look how I said the word work now. You got work to do because you're going into your spiritual or energetic development to grow.
ודרך העבודה שלנו, דרך העמל הזה, אנחנו רוצים להתפתח מבחינה רוחנית, אנרגטית ולצמוח.
You got purpose now.
לעבוד על עצמנו, יש לנו מטרה.
And why do you want that energy body to grow? Because you want a better life.
ואנחנו רוצים שהגוף האנרגטי הזה
Bottom
יצמח,
line.
כי אנחנו רוצים חיים יותר מאושרים ויותר מיטיבים.
But
שורה
how-
תחתונה.
Could a life be better if the physical body demands physical food, sleep, and drink? The energy body don't need food, sleep, and drink. You got two minds. In other words, you got split personality. Everybody crazy.
יש לנו איזשהו סוג של פיצול שיוצר לנו סוג כזה של שיגעון, כי מצד אחד הגוף הפיזי תובע את שלו, ומצד שני הגוף האנרגטי הוא לא צריך למאכל, לשינה ולשתייה.
So that's why there's an internal war taking place. Should I stay or should I go?
ואז יש מלחמה פנימית,
There was a song like that. Should I stay or should I go? But you don't want that war to take place no more. You want everything to become harmonized in one, and when the energies become one, life becomes in two.
אנחנו לא רוצים את המאבק הזה יותר, אנחנו רוצים שיהיה איזשהו חיבור, איחוד, ואז החיים נכנסים לתוך הרמוניה, לתוך המקצב, לתוך התדר הנכון, מכווננים.
Oh man, this is getting good. We got to make it make sense, because if we don't know what we're doing and where we're going. Now look at the definition for samadhi. They use this word, it's a Sanskrit word, dealing with meditation, and it's the ultimate goal that you should want to accomplish.
אז סמאדי זה מצב של הייעוד האלטרנטיבי המוחלט שאנחנו רוצים להשיג אותו.
But they turn people off by thinking you got to live this life just stuck in this room all day long meditating. That's boring.
אז קיבלו גם אנשים על ידי זה שהחדירו להם איזושהי תפיסה שצריך להישאר ולמדוד שעות על גבי שעות בתוך חדר סגור ולא לצאת מזה, זה גורם שעמום.
So that's why you ain't been seeing that many people that's food free, because they ain't achieved samadhi.
אתם לא תראו כל כך הרבה אנשים שבאמת משוחררים מהצורך הזה בתזונה, כי הם לא הגיעו למצב גם של הסמאדי.
Because we thought samadhi is you just got to live this meditative life doing nothing.
ואנחנו חושבים שסמאדי זה סוג של חיים מדיטטיביים שיושבים ככה ולא עושים כלום.
And the light that's inside you ain't saying that we're going to sit here and do nothing. The light inside you want to have fun and live a life.
האור בפנים רוצה לחיות, רוצה לחוות, רוצה לשמוח.
So your physical body isn't bad on what it's doing. It's the grounding mechanism that grounds down the light, but they must get an understanding to work together.
הגוף הפיזי הוא מקרקע את האור, מעגן את האור, והם צריכים להגיע לאיזושהי הבנה איך להסתדר ביחד.
So what the Breatharian knowledge is, you're going to learn to be the manager or the coordinator of your light body is yours, and your physical body is yours, and bring them together, the connection of heaven and earth.
בדרך הזאת, אז האדם רוצה להשיג את היכולת הזאת, גם להשתלט על היכולות של הגוף הפיזי, על היכולות של הגוף האנרגטי ולאחד אותם, כי זה שלנו, זה בידיים שלנו.
That's why food freedom is a holistic lifestyle. But listen at this now. I don't teach you how not to eat. I teach you how to eat yourself into food freedom.
אז אני מלמד אתכם איך דרך התזונה שלנו להגיע למצב של שחרור מתזונה, דרך אכילה.
Because if you try to starve the physical body right off the get-go, what people try to do, it's going to fight to stay alive.
אם אנחנו נכניס את הגוף הפיזי למצב של ערבה, אז הגוף ייכנס למלחמה, הוא יחשוב שהוא הולך למות, ואז הוא ילחם בנו על מנת לחיות.
It don't understand what you're trying to do. Why are you trying to kill me? And I'm giving you a house to live.
הוא לא מבין מה אתה מנסה לרצוח אותי כשאני נותן לך בית לחיות בו.
So that's why this is a process for you to give the physical body time to pick its energy up to merge with the light.
ולכן אנחנו יוצרים את זה באופן תהליכי, להעניק לגוף הפיזי את היכולת לאסוף את האור הזה, את האנרגיה הזאת, ולהתמזג עם גוף האור.
And when it merges with the light, the way you know you merge with the light Your hunger would decrease. Your thirst would decrease on its own. Your sleep will decrease. You'll have more energy, and you'll have clarity of thought. This is how you know.
איך אני אדע שרמת האנרגיה שלי גוברת ואני בדרך? שבאופן טבעי אני פחות צורך לאכול, פחות צורך לשתות, פחות צורך לישון, המחשבות שלי יהיו בהירות ויהיה לי באופן כללי ערנות וחיוניות.
Now let's read Samadhi to show that I'm telling the truth. All right, let's go.
Samadhi, a state of intense concentration.
A state of intense concentration. That means that you are now, we're all living our life. Nobody's arguing that. But now since you're learning this knowledge, you want to transform yourself. You're going to start going into intense concentration. Watching what you eat. Watching these energies. Watching what comes out of your mouth. Everything is energy and you're connected to it. So you're going to go into a state of intense concentration. You're going to get some knowledge and learn how to carry yourself.
אנחנו ניכנס בתוך המצב הזה של סמאדי בשלבים, למצב של ריכוז מוגבר, של תשומת לב. מה אני אוכל, איך אני מתנהל, מה קורה עם המחשבות שלי. כל הזמן להשגיח על עצמי.
Now read that next one. Listen at this.
Okay, so this state, achieved through meditation.
And that deep state of intense concentration is achieved through meditation. That's a tool for us.
זה כלי בשבילנו להגיע לערנות הזאת המוגברת, המרוכזת.
Now, read the rest of it.
In Hindu yoga,
In Hindu yoga,
this is regarded as this final stage, as the final stage.
as the final stage. Now listen at this. I know this sounds intense.
ביוגה
Oh, go ahead.
האינדית, אז מתייחסים למצב הזה כאל התוצר, השלב הסופי, המוגמר.
Now, of course, this is the final stage of meditation. And some of y'all probably sitting there, well, I never meditated in my life. This will take me lifetimes. Oh, no, it won't. Well, you got it laid out for you. And you get your purpose together. The light inside you want to develop and grow so much, it will lead you there. It knows what to do.
ברגע שאנחנו ניצור את התנאים המתאימים, אז האור שבתוכנו יתעורר ופשוט ייקח אותנו לשם, כי הוא יודע מה לעשות. אז זה לא אמור לקחת לנו חיים שלמים למשל, או גלגולים רבים.
But you only can create what you know that exists. If you don't know that this exists, this is why you never thought of creating it.
אנחנו יכולים ליצור רק מה שאנחנו יודעים שיכול להיות אפשרי וקיים.
All right, keep reading. About Samadhi, being silent. Listen at this. This is the ultimate stage through meditation. Listen at this.
At which union...
Read it a little louder so you're back here.
Okay. Regarded as the final stage, at which union with the divine is reached.
At which union with the divine is reached. Who is the divine? It's your light body. It's you. But it's the other aspect of you that they call your higher self. The you that's not from here.
אנחנו מגיעים למצב של אחדות עם הנשגב, ומה זה האחדות עם הנשגב? זה החלק הגבוה, האני העליון, החלק שכביכול לא נמצא פה ולא נתפס.
So yoga means union with. But what are you unifying? Heaven and earth, body and mind, so they could coordinate with each other.
יוגה זה האחדות של השמיים ושל הארץ ושל הגוף ושל המיינד, של ההכרה, התודעה.
Now I know yoga is a loose word. Everywhere I travel on the planet, somebody's doing yoga, carrying mats all around. Again, why you saying they ain't food free? What happened?
איך יכול להיות שבכל מקום שיש יוגה, היוגים הם לא משוחררים מאוכל, אם הם מתרגלים את האיחוד הזה ואת היוגה? מה קרה?
They maybe didn't know that this exists.
אולי הם לא ידעו שהנוסחה הזאת קיימת.
They were just given the positions and the moves and that was it.
יכול להיות שרק עבדו איתם על המונחים והמנחים הפיזיים.
And somebody didn't tell them that the whole goal of the practice was to reach Samadhi. They didn't have a purpose of the goal.
ואף אחד לא כיוון אותם שזו המטרה העליונה להגיע לסמאדי.
And it is to quiet the body, shut it up, because it was the one giving off most of your communication, messing up your life.
הסמאדי נועד להשקיט את הגוף, להשקיט את התודעה, משום שהתודעה, המוח הוא זה שיוצר לנו כאוס ובלגן בחיים.
Because when we got educated on if you don't eat or you die, that went into all of your physical body. It's not the physical body's fault. You got a lot of cleaning out to do of the old programming.
חינכו אותנו שאם אנחנו לא נאכל, אז אנחנו נמות, וכל מיני חינוכים בתוכנות אחרות, יש לנו הרבה עבודת ניקוי לעשות.
Now read that other one.
The mind becomes still.
The mind becomes still. Now when we think of our mind, we just thinking of this, right? This is an extension of your mind. Now reality, all of this is your mind, but you got to grow into it. That's why they keep saying you create your reality.
הגוף שלנו, אנחנו חושבים שהמוח זה רק כאן, למעשה כל הגוף שלנו היא הערכה, מוח שמתארך לתוך הגוף, ולמעשה גם כל המציאות החיצונית היא התארכות של מה שיש לנו כאן בתוך המוח, וככה אנחנו מייצרים את המציאות שלנו.
But when you got stress here, it's noisy. When you got stress in the physical body, it's noisy. When you got stress going on in your external life, everything is noisy, and you want to bring everything back to Samadhi.
כשיש לנו מתח בראש, מתח בגוף, מתח בחיים החיצוניים שלנו, אז זה מעמיס עלינו, ואנחנו רוצים לקחת את כל זה ולהחזיר את זה פנימה לתוך המצב של הסמאדי.
So the first step of my Breatharian journey was when I decided to slow down my life and focus more on me. I had to shut everything down to bring it into Samadhi. It wasn't overnight. This was a process.
השלב הראשון בחיים שלי היה להשקיט את החיים שלי, להמעיט את העשייה עד כמה שניתן כדי לדאוג ולטפח את עצמי, את השקט, את השלווה שלי, וזה היה תהליך.
Because before the journey, I was sick, overweight, high blood pressure, feeling bad, bad relationships. I was making too much noise in the universe. I wasn't in Samadhi.
לפני המסע הזה הוא היה בעודף משקל, הוא היה חולה, היו לו יחסים גרועים, והוא ייצר המון רעש וקצרים בתוך היקום, ולכן הדברים לא הסתדרו.
Nothing can make you happy. You keep eating, sex, materialism. Nothing fulfills you. You're making too much noise.
כל היום אוכל, מחפש דחפים מיניים, מחפש גירויים, שום דבר לא יכול למלא אותך, ואתה עושה יותר מדי רעש עם הצרכים האלה.
So my first step was, and that's the reason why I was sick, because I tried to be somebody. Now I say this all the time, but listen to what I'm about to say. The only time you listen to your leg is when it's hurt. The only time you feel your shoulder is when it's hurt.
אני מרגיש את הגוף שלי, בדרך כלל אנחנו מרגישים כשיש לנו כאב. אז אנחנו מרגישים באמת.
When it's not hurting, you don't even pay attention to it.
כשזה לא כואב אנחנו לא שמים לב.
It's in Samadhi. You don't have nobody. You want to get to the state where you have nobody, become a nobody.
אנחנו רוצים להגיע למצב של חוסר תחושת גוף, של להיות אף אחד, כלום.
The universe can't sustain nobody because it's trying to be somebody. You don't need to try to be somebody. You're already everything. That's what the light in you is trying to tell you.
אוקיי, רגע. ביג. אנחנו מנסים להיות כל הזמן מישהו, משהו. והיקום לא יכול לקיים את המישהו והמשהו הזה, כי היקום יכול לקיים את מישהו לא משהו, ושהוא למעשה אף אחד.
Now read that next point. Oh, good job. Give her a clap. She working, ain't she?
Okay. So, union with or, what's that?
Absorption.
Absorption.
Listen at this.
Into ultimate reality.
She says it's the union with or the absorption into the ultimate reality.
אז זה להיות במצב של אחדות או להיספג, להימזג לתוך המציאות הטוטלית.
See, even the scientific field now is telling you everything's connected. They're even getting into unified consciousness, stream theory. That's the ultimate reality. You are everything. It has to soak in.
בתוך התחום של המדע יש עכשיו את התיאוריות שאנחנו באמת הכל והכל מאוחד והשדות מאוחדים ושאנחנו באמת הכל ולא נמצאים בנפרדות ופשוט זה צריך להיספק פנימה וזאת תפיסה שהיא מזינה בהקשר לעניין של התזונה כי אנחנו הכל אז אנחנו ניזונים.
A person gets stressed out when they don't agree with reality.
בן אדם נכנס למתח כאשר הוא לא מסכים עם המציאות. זה יוצר את הבעיות.
Trying to be somebody again.
לנסות להיות מישהו, להיות משהו.
Now read that next one. Oh, this is good. This is good. Here we go. Now it's not far-fetched. This isn't philosophy. Now we're going to learn how to get there.
עכשיו אנחנו נלמד איך להגיע לשם. Yeah, and this nice little lights puts us in a meditative state. Already we're all going to go into Samadhi.
Right.
Meditative trance.
It's a meditative trance.
That is the final step.
That is the final step.
Of the
Eightfold
Path.
Now the Eightfold Path is the path the Buddha gave.
הדרך טרנס מדיטטיבי שהוא השלב האחרון של הדרך השמינית.
And he was basically talking about what? Think right, speak right, you know, eightfold path, but it was dealing with a lifestyle.
הדרך של בודה, הדרך של 8 שלבים שמתגלית, אופן חיים, הנחיות של שלבים.
Of a consciousness because he realized that these principles, you're dealing with this is your consciousness. So think right.
כל העקרונות האלה הם המצב תודעה שלנו, לכן תחשבו נכון. Can you say the 8 stages?
Well, we just say the 8 stage, the Eightfold Path. What we're just talking about is a lifestyle. We're talking about a lifestyle that's going to put the body first back into his health.
אנחנו מדברים על דרך של חיים שקודם כל מחזירה את הגוף הפיזי לתוך הבריאות שלו.
That's why food freedom is a health message. The way you know you're dealing with prana is because you start getting healthier.
המטה הזאת באכילה, השחרור מהצורך הזה של כל הזמן לאכול, גורם לנו להיות יותר בריאים, ואז אנחנו יודעים שאנחנו נכנסים לתדר הזה של הפרנה.
And even if you can't handle a person who don't eat, look at the benefits of not eating. Right now we're in the age of fasting. More than ever before, more people are doing it, and even the doctor's office is telling you don't eat or drink before you come to an appointment, so that your readings could be a lot more accurate.
אנחנו נכנסים למצב אפילו בזמן הזה שמבחינה רפואית יש ערך לצום. הרופאים מייעצים להיכנס לצום אפילו מוחלט, לפני בדיקות רפואיות, בדיקות דם, כדי שהערכים יהיו מדויקים.
And all religions deal with fasting, connecting them with the divine.
וכל הדתות גם עוסקות בצום כדרך להתחבר לנשגב, לאלוהות.
So if anything you got to learn is the benefits of backing up from the table sometime so you can start connecting with yourself and get healthier.
ולפעמים אנחנו פשוט צריכים לסגת מהשולחן כדי להתחבר לעצמנו ולהיות יותר בריאים.
And this is a process again. You want to take your time on yourself. Because if you get your health together, you got more time to think about these things, going into Samadhi. But if your health is bad and you're still thinking about your leg, you're going to keep thinking about your leg. Go take care of the leg.
כאשר יש לנו מכאובים בגוף, אז זה תופס לנו את תשומת לב לכאבים, ואנחנו לא יכולים לחשוב איך להיכנס למצב תודעה יותר גבוה. וברגע שהגוף כבר חזק, אז הוא תומך בנו, המחשבות שלנו יכולות לעסוק במחשבות יותר של חיבור למימדים אלוהים, מימדים גבוהים יותר.
So that's why the body is part of spirituality, because if the body's hurting, you ain't thinking about not know how to get healed. So if you tell the body to shut up, that's Samadhi. You got it healthy, you basically told it to be quiet.
ברגע שאנחנו מתחזקים בבריאות שלנו, אנחנו למעשה אומרים לגוף להיות שקט.
And if the body got quieter, you ain't got to worry about that no more. Now you can start concentrating on some bigger things in life.
ואז אם הגוף שקט, התודעה שלנו פנויה להתרכז בתחומים נשגבים יותר, רחבים יותר של החיים.
So that's first basics. So now, in these energies of the light, see, even though I'm telling you this, I can tell you till I'm blue in the face. The reason why this is called self-realization, you have to realize it yourself. Get on the path. At least begin. It's never too late. Start.
אנחנו קוראים לזה הכרת העצמי, כי אנחנו בעצמנו צריכים לדחוף את עצמנו לעשות את הדרך. דחיפה, התחלה, צעד ראשון כדי להתחיל לחוות ולהבין על מה מדובר באופן ישיר.
Now read that other one. Now keep in mind, she just read that this meditative state comes through the Eightfold Path. Your concentration and meditation will get better as your body gets healthier because it'll start loving this new feeling.
ברגע שהגוף שלנו יתחזק, הגוף שלנו יאהב את ההרגשה הזאת החזקה, אנחנו נוכל להתאחד במצב של תודעה מוגברת. Awareness that's achieved through disciplined meditation.
Awareness that is achieved through disciplined meditation. I know people hate that word discipline, but that's what it's going to take.
אנחנו מגיעים למצב של תודעה, של תשומת לב, שמשיגים אותה דרך משמעת מדיטטיבית.
And don't worry in the beginning. Everybody has what they call a monkey mind. Now, I'm going to tell you what that means. You're making a lot of noise again.
לכל אחד יש מוח שמתרוצץ כמו קוף, ועושים עוד פעם, עושים הרבה רעש. Actually, in yoga, they call it a drunken monkey that's been stung by a scorpion.
A drunken monkey that's been stung by a scorpion. Oh my God.
שעקץ אותו הקרב.
And everybody deals with it, so don't think that some people just, you can develop it. That's why it's about taking your time, dealing with the monkey mind, or this drunken monkey that's been stung by a scorpion.
קחו את הזמן שלכם בלהתמודד עם הקוף הזה שמתרוצץ בתוך המוח.
Now read that other one. Oh, this is good.
In this heightened state, you become one with the object.
In this heightened state, you become one with the object. Keep reading.
במצב המוגבל הזה של התודעה, אתה נהיה אחד עם הנושא. Or thought you're meditating on.
You'll become one with the object or the thoughts that you're meditating on.
או המחשבות שאנחנו מתרכזים בהן, מחשבה שאנחנו מתרכזים בה.
Now I'm going to get straight to my thinking is different than the average person. This is why I'm food free.
החשיבה של אליתום בתור אדם שמשוחרר מהצורך בתזונה היא שונה מהחשיבה היומיומית של רוב האנשים.
Over a period of time through meditation, I've learned to take the concept and focus on the object. In other words, I know I'm supposed to. That's how you're thinking. And the thought is your or the thought you're meditating on will manifest itself. Your word will become flesh.
אני למדתי להתרכז דרך המדיטציה בנושא, וגם המחשבה שאני מתרכז בה, היא תוגשם ותקרום אור וגידים.
You got to trust yourself, believe yourself. That takes time.
עלינו להאמין בעצמנו, זה לוקח זמן.
But you can do it. And what a Samadhi state is, first your practice starts out, okay, 1 hour a day I'll practice yoga. 1 hour a day I'll work out. That's how it starts out. Over a period of time, your life becomes yoga. Your life becomes the workout. You become a walking meditation. In other words, it started out, I thought that way in a corner. But now everywhere I go, I think this way because I'm a walking meditation. I'm supposed to be one with everything. I am.
בהתחלה אני מודדת, התרגול הוא של למדוד נניח שעה ביום, לאט לאט זה מתאחד ומתחזק עד שזה נהיה מצב קיומי, והאדם הופך להיות מדיטציה מהלכת ומבין שהוא מאוחד עם הכל, לא נפרד.
Now, I started out by saying that your physical body needs physical food. That's natural.
זה טבעי שהגוף הפיזי צריך אוכל פיזי.
Then you got a word called unnatural. It's unnatural, you understand, not to eat. That's why people starve.
יש את המושג...
Oh, did I say that? Yeah!
לא טבעי. זה לא טבעי נניח שאנשים יגבעו מרעב.
But then you got a thing, listen at this, called supernatural. Who made that up and why? What is supernatural?
ואז יש לנו מושג שנקרא סופר טבעי, על טבעי. אז בואו נראה מה זה העל טבעי הזה. This one?
Yeah.
Supernatural of
a manifestation.
Of a manifestation or event.
A manifestation or an event.
Attributed to some force beyond scientific understanding or the laws of nature.
It's a manifestation or an event that is attributed to something that is what?
To some force.
To some force that did what? That's beyond scientific understanding. Now, why can we boldly say that in this age now? Because this age now, even science is saying that the experiment could be changed by who's observing it. They're telling you that through the double slit experiment. Your consciousness is so powerful, it's going beyond the modern day scientific understanding.
אז משהו, תופעה על-טבעית, היא איזושהי הגשמה של התרחשות שמיוחסת לכוח שהוא מעבר להבנה המדעית או לחוקי הטבע.
And out of all this equipment, all these computers, a placebo is still your number one pill, a dummy pill. But they still can't tell you why it works. It's the way you're thinking.
לדוגמה, יש תרופות דמה שרופאים נותנים אותם לאנשים והן פועלות, ואף אחד לא יכול לתת הסבר מדעי למה זה פועל, זה פשוט קשור לאופן החשיבה. אני מאמין שהתרופה הזאת שהרופא נתן לי תרפא אותי אפילו שהפציינט לא יודע שאין בה כלום.
So I'm thinking, or I'm connected to the supernatural. I believe it.
אני מחובר
So much.
לעל טבעי ואני מאמין בזה.
That's why when somebody said, well, where you get your vitamins and minerals? I don't know what that is. That's not in the supernatural.
הוויטמינים והמינרלים שכל הזמן דוחפים לנו, הם לא נכנסים לתוך התחום הזה של העל טבעי.
My light body don't need food, and that is me. It has grown to the point it overrode that other understanding of what's natural.
הגוף של האור שלי גדל כל כך שהוא גדל מעבר לתפיסה המקובלת של מה טבעי עבור הגוף והחיים.
Let's take sports for instance. You got these sports players, but then you got somebody on the team who's called a superstar.
בתוך קבוצת כדורגל למשל, אז יש לנו שחקן שנקרא סופרסטאר, שחקן על.
Now everybody's in good shape, but why is he the superstar? Why does he make the big plays every game? Because he believes he's supposed to. It's his thoughts that make him different than everybody else. It seems like the ball is magically always coming to him when it's time to make the big play. Like magic.
איך זה שהשחקן הזה על הוא מנצח כל הזמן? בגלל שהוא מאמין שהוא אמור לעשות את זה, וכל הזמן הוא בתוך המחשבה הזאת, וזה עובד בשבילו כמו קסם.
5, 4, 3, bang. He did it again. He knew he didn't even look at it.
הוא אפילו לא...
He believed it. I'm a superstar.
את הקליעה למטרה, לסל.
So you have to get a thought process to go above and beyond what's natural.
אנחנו צריכים לסגל דרך של חשיבה שהיא הולכת מעבר למה שנתפס כטבעי.
That's why there's physics And there's a thing called metaphysics. That means the higher physical.
לכן יש לנו פיזיקה ויש לנו מטאפיזיקה שזה פיזיקה עליונה.
In a scientific arena, the problem with string theory is they cannot get the math together. Because there's one atom over here and one atom over here that's the same popping up in two different places. They didn't have that problem in physics. But in metaphysics, or in the realm of all possibilities, that's a problem.
בתוך המימד הזה של הפיזיקת על, במישור שבו כל ההסתברויות הן אפשרויות, אז זה בעיה להסביר איך זה יכול להיות שדמות אחת יכולה להיות קיימת בו זמנית בכמה מימדים.
And this consciousness we have is just not anchored down in the nature or into regular physics. Our consciousness goes beyond that. That's why they got a thing called a higher mind, higher self. It's dealing with your light body, the other aspect of your consciousness that's not from here.
התפיסת על של התודעה שלנו היא יכולה כן לתפוס את כל המושגים האלה, משום שהיא לא מפה, אז היא במילא מתעלה מעבר להגדרות מושגים שהן מוגבלות.
And it can stay here forever. You just have to give it the assentive, why should I stay?
והאור הזה יכול להישאר איתנו פה, הגוף של האור לנצח, אבל אנחנו פשוט צריכים לתת לו את ההבנה למה כדאי לו להישאר.
So in other words, your thought process have to break down, and you notice now, every time there's a new diet change, every time there's a new pill, that means that even their knowledge is always changing itself. They don't know what the truth is.
כל הזמן המדע הולך, מתפתח ומשתנה וסותר את עצמו אפילו משום שאין הגדרה מוחלטת של מה האמת.
But Samadhi is the power of the ultimate reality. When you hook up to it, all possibilities. You don't need no food. You don't need no drink. You don't need no sleep. You don't need no money. You don't need no house. You never get sick. You can live forever.
הסמאדי זה מצב של תודעת על שהאדם משוחרר לחלוטין מהצורך באכילה. יש את הידיעה המוחלטת שתומכת בשתייה, צורך בכסף, צורך בבית, צורך בעבודה, אלא אתה משוחרר ואתה יכול להמשיך ככה לנצח.
And everywhere I go, I'm treated good and nice.
בלתי מוגבל.
Everywhere I'm good, I'm treated good and nice. By all families of the earth. I don't care what color you are, what language you speak, because you are me. I'm the only power that exists.
בכל מקום שהוא הולך, מקבלים אותו ומתייחסים אליו יפה, משום שאליתום רואה את עצמו כחלק מהם. הם זה אני. ולכן אני הכוח היחיד שקיים, ולכן זה ברור שדואגים לי, וזה ברור שיש לי מקום בכל מקום על האדמה שאני הולך אליו.
That's how you got to think. You're the superstar. Start making a big play. Change your existence in your life.
זה החשיבה שלנו. אני שחקן העל, ולשנות ככה את הקיום שלי בתוך החיים שלי, שהכל אמור לתמוך בי. הכל אמור להיות בעדי ולטובתי.
So we talk techniques and stuff, that's to help us. But after you get past the techniques, you don't need no technique. The only technique you know is to know that you know who you are.
מה שאני צריך, הטכניקה היחידה, השיטה היחידה, זה לדעת שאני יודע מי אני. שיש את היכולת לדעת מי אני.
And then you become a walking samadhi. And how do we know? Because you're living in a consciousness that's connected with everything, and you should live by life. I don't have no problems in life. How did that supposed to happen? You get into it when you get into a state of silence. Like I told you, I'm the most quietest person you know.
ואז אני חי בתוך מצב של סמאדי, משוחרר מבעיות, משום שלא אמורים להיות לי בכלל בעיות.
Right. That's all we got to do. Peace, be still. And that's when the peace come in.
כי אני שקט. ברגע שאני שקט, השלום, השלווה, נכנסים לתוך המרחב.
This is the message. And I hope y'all can get it.
זה המסר, ואני מקווה שכולכם, כולנו יכולים באמת להבין את זה, לתפוס את זה.
And the thing about this too, is so user-friendly. Have fun along the way. Because again, you're the creator.
זה כל כך ידידותי שבואו נהנה מזה, כי אנחנו גם הופכים להיות יצירתיים.
There is no right or wrong. All it is energy, manifestations, having fun.
אין שום דבר שהוא טוב או לא נכון, אלא הכל זה אנרגיה שמתגשמת ונהנית מעצמה.
So it's that realization again. They even had a thing, we used to laugh at it on the show, where a guy used to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, I am somebody, I am somebody. You know, we're laughing, but that's, you have to get comfortable who you are.
יש איזושהי...
You might have to do that.
יש איזושהי תוכנית טלוויזיה או משהו מפעם, שבה הבן אדם היה קם כל בוקר, מסתכל על עצמו ואומר, וואו, אתה באמת משהו, בואו נסגל לעצמנו את התפיסה הזאת, שאנחנו באמת משהו.
And that duality thought always try to say there's a power here, but there's another force of a power over here. No, it's not. As soon as you think that way, you already committed heresy. There's only one power.
מחשבה דואלית יוצרת פיצול, יש רק כוח אחד, לא שאני נפרד ויש כוח אחר מחוצה לי.
So as you start trusting yourself again, as you're on this path, give yourself time. The light will help you. See, where I'm at right now, I didn't do this because I'm strong or got strong willpower. Absolutely, you will get exhausted if you think you're going to do that. The light will bring you on in. That's the only thing that's going to do it.
ברגע שמתפתח לי אמון בעצמי, אמון בדרך שלי שאני עושה, אז האור נכנס פנימה. האור מקיים אותי והאור תומך לי.
Because the physical body has strong attachments here, but that's okay. It was there for our suffering so that we can enjoy the light even better when we come up out of this and resurrect.
לגוף הפיזי נכון שיש לו סבל, ומצד שני יש ככה את האפשרות יותר להעריך את האור ואת התהליך שלנו של הלידה המחודשת, הבריאה החדשה של אני.
Now, we're going to wrap it up a little bit, but dealing with the supernatural, read these definitions of the supernatural. I'll read this number one.
Magic.
Magic. Now, magic is the root word of imagination.
קסם זה השורש של כוח ההדמיה, הדמיון, באנגלית.
And notice that they use that word in Genesis in the Bible, image and likeness. Image, imagination. This is all your imagination.
נברא כצלמו וכדמותו בספר בראשית, זה הכל הפרי הדמיון העליון.
The only difference between me and a person that eats is I learned how to work with the energy better than they did.
ההבדל ביני לבין בן אדם שאוכל, שאני יודע איך לעבוד עם האנרגיה יותר טוב ממה שהם יודעים, ולכן אני סוג של קוסם.
And perfect practice make perfect. You stay on this path, you're going to get good at working with energy because that's all you know how to do. You are an energy being.
כמה שיהיה יותר ויותר שיפור והשתפרות בתרגול, אז הדברים הופכים להיות, התוצאות הן מושלמות משום שאנחנו יצורים אנרגטיים.
And it's not that you don't have energy. I wish I had that energy you have. You do have it. You just have to learn how to balance it out now, harmonize it, and allow it to grow.
יש לנו את כל המאגרי אנרגיה, הרבה מעבר למה שאנחנו חושבים בכלל שיש לנו. כל מה שאנחנו צריכים לעשות זה לרתום את האנרגיה הזאת, להתחיל לעבוד איתה ולאפשר לה לגדול.
And that's why we use the term cultivation. Just like when you cultivating a plant from a seed, you make sure the weeds get out the way. Make sure the earth is right. Make sure the sun gives us its nutrients. You got to take care of yourself in that same type of level.
יש לנו את המושג של טיפוח, כמו שמטפחים זרע על מנת שהוא יצמח להיות צמח חזק ועץ חסון. אז ככה באותה רמה אנחנו מטפחים את האנרגיה שלנו, האנרגיה של החיים שלנו.
So these are the definitions for supernatural. She said magic. So you live a magical life. Somebody asked me today, how is your life going being food free? I didn't really know what to say. It ain't like a person to eat, I tell you that. That take a lot of time. I got a lot of time on my hands. I was up this morning, walking around the game before the sun pulls up, walking beaches. Right. You ain't got to chase food no more. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Now,
החיים שלי קסומים, אני יכול לעשות מה שאני רוצה, להסתובב בים בעת הזריחה, ליהנות מהיופי.
so now you got the word magic. Keep reading other definitions.
Miracles,
Miracles,
soul,
soul. They got the word soul in there. Everybody always say, I got a soul. Don't even know what that is. But that goes with the supernatural again. You're dealing with a soul. Now keep in mind the reason why they got magic and miracles. It's all about vibration.
קסם וניסים ונשמה, הכל זה עניין של רטטים.
Of course, if we all vibrational beings, and you got a person who's not eating, your vibration is higher than the other people. So things that come to you and things that go in your life, it's like magic to them.
התדרים של בן אדם שמשוחרר מאכילה הם גבוהים יותר מאנשים שאוכלים באופן אנרגטי, ולכן בן אדם שהחומר שלו יותר דפוס מסתכל על אופן התנהלות של חיים של אדם שמשוחרר מהתזונה כמשהו ניסי.
And we call things magical or they're miracles when you can't explain it.
בגלל שאין אפשרות להסביר את זה, אז אנחנו אומרים שזה נס.
But when you're living in the supernatural, this goes on all the time, and it's natural to you. It's not supernatural because you know why it's working. It's because of your vibration.
כאשר אני חי בעל טבעי, אני יודע שזה עובד, וזה הכל פשוט קשור לתדר שלי. ככה זה צריך להיות.
Now read these, oh man. And this is all dealing with supernatural.
Yeah.
Now read those other words.
Spirits or ghosts,
Spirits or ghosts, because they can't explain it.
monsters,
Monsters,
Grim Reaper,
Grim Reaper, death. Even death is in the supernatural.
הקוצר הנשמות.
Now the reason why I say that, the average person when you're young, they got that spirit of invincibility. It ain't going to happen to me. They don't believe death. You don't believe death right now.
היחס שלנו למוות,
לא,
אנחנו לא מאמינים שזה אפשרי, שאנחנו נמות, אנחנו לא
Right.
מאמינים בזה.
The average people person don't believe death. They don't believe death until they get in trouble with death.
עד שאנחנו מסתפרים ומרגישים את זה, רק אז אנחנו מאמינים.
So that's why death is in the supernatural. And it's natural to think that way. That shows you can beat death.
והמוות נתפס כעל טבעי, ולכן זה מראה לנו גם שאנחנו יכולים לנצח את זה, כי אנחנו פועלים מתוך המישור העל טבעי.
All right, read those other ones.
Angels,
Angels,
מלאכים, devils,
devils,
שדים, ו-demons.
and demons. That's all in the supernatural, and that's in people's minds on what they are creating or how they interpret it. But it basically breaks down the things that really can't be explained scientifically. And now we're in this good age because even science is backing us up on this power of the consciousness. This is the new thing where we're at. Everybody's there now. The power of the consciousness.
אנחנו נכנסנו עכשיו לפירוט של כל מיני תופעות של העולם הנסתר, ואפילו גם עכשיו מבחינה מדעית אפשר להוכיח את הדברים האלה, למדוד אותם, וזה הכוח גם של התודעה.
So this is a good age we're in. And see, this age goes both ways. You see the people crying about the world we're in. Man, this is the darkest age we've been in. All you got to do is tell them, shut up. It goes both ways. This is the best time you're living in right now. There's somebody born right now who will see 300 years old easy, just due to the family they're being born in, just from the conventional knowledge.
אז יש אנשים שכבר בעידן הזה מסוגלים באופן אפילו פשוט בהתאם לגנטיקה שלהם, למכשור הרפואי, לידע שקיים הקונבנציונלי, להמשיך את החיים שלהם גם עד גיל 300 שנה, ויש הרבה אנשים בעידן הזה שמתלוננים ואומרים שזה עידן מאוד שחור, מאוד חשוך, ומצד שני אנחנו בעידן שופע הידע, שופע היכולות, וחיים באמת בעידן הטוב ביותר.
Good age we're in.
בזמן טוב, בתקופה טובה.
I'm traveling around the world now. Little or no money. Well, I don't eat. So, but hey, then again, it's easy to do. But you could do that in this age we're in now. And I ain't worried about where you're going to sleep. Like I told you, everywhere I go, it's the likeness and image of me.
אני מטייל
That's what it
בעולם
does.
בלי אוכל, בלי הוצאות, עם הוצאות מועטות ביותר, ואפילו לא דואג איפה אני אשן, כי האור דואג לי, זאת הדמות שלי והיא דואגת לי בכל מקום.
This has been the longest time Europe ain't been in a war with itself. Look at it. The best age you've been in.
עידן זהב, לא היו מלחמות באירופה, אין מלחמות באירופה, תקופה ארוכה.
New ideas, everything's being challenged. We in a good age.
תגליות חדשות, רעיונות חדשים, חוקרים הכל, מאמתים הכל.
And new ways to do things, not only with science and technology, also with ourselves. See, free energy is the thing now. Not only with external equipment, but now with the pranic message or the Breatharian message is saying, you get nourished, you can get nourished differently than just with your mouth. That's what we're saying.
עם המסר הזה של הפרנה, אז אנחנו גם לומדים ומגלים את עצמנו מחדש, ורק דרך הפה שלנו אנחנו יכולים לקבל הזנה באופן אחר לגמרי.
And this is an age too, we got the most information ever on this subject. And there's more going to be coming out. It's not going to quit. And just like in anything, you got the good information and bad. Study as much as you can, get the pros and cons. But one thing you keep ahead of you, work on your health, because that is the message.
תלמדו כמה שאתם יכולים, כי הידע הזה נמצא, הוא קיים, עבודה עצמית, למצוא את הידע הזה, ולהגיע באמת לתוך המסר הזה, להיכנס אליו, להפנים אותו וללכת עם המסר הזה.
And that's why they say health is your wealth. It's for a reason.
הבריאות זה הכוח שלנו, זה השפע שלנו.
And don't let the illusion, that's what Samadhi is telling you. If you go into silence, it's right behind us. This is an illusion. Have the experience, but don't let the experience overwhelm you. Does that make a sense?
שיהיה לך את החוויה, ולא לתת לחוויה להציף אותך.
Now listen at this. We all young people here. Oh, sorry about
Okay,
that.
I just need a slight definition so it will go well in Hebrew.
Oh.
Don't let the experience overwhelm you. What does that mean? Have the experience and don't let it overwhelm you.
Take you over.
Take you over.
Or you think it's real to where you get stuck to it.
Okay, you mean like the experiences of life or the experiences
Experience
in
of
the
life.
meditation?
Experience in life.
Okay. כל ההתנסויות שלנו בתוך החיים, לא לתת להם, לגבור עלינו ולתת לנו לחשוב שזה באמת מה שזה, המאורעות של החיים.
So the food freedom message in a nutshell, yes, the body does heal itself when you don't put nothing in it. That's deep, ain't it?
הגוף שלנו מבריא את עצמו ברגע שאנחנו נמנעים מלהכניס משהו לתוך הגוף שלנו.
Now the key is, this is why you got to build up your energy body so it can sustain itself longer. That's the key.
והמפתח הוא לבנות את הגוף האנרגטי כדי שהגוף האנרגטי יוכל לתחזק את עצמו לאורך זמן רב יותר ורב יותר.
And the key that you want to come to this conclusion in life, as long as your feet is on the ground, it's your turn. You want to live the best life possible.
כל זמן שהרגליים שלנו על האדמה, אנחנו רוצים לחיות את החיים הטובים ביותר, האפשריים לנו, בלי פשרות.
Now this is some things coming from people that we're about to read who had regrets about this life. And like I said, we want to live the best highlighted life as possible. Listen at this on
פה
number
יש
1.
לנו רשימה של סוג של חרטות שאנשים התחרטו שהם לא חיו ככה את החיים שלהם. שזה האפשרי להם. 1. I wish I had spent more time with your loved ones.
I wish, this is what the Breatharian Path do. When you start getting healthier and happier, now you can spend more time with your loved ones.
כמה שאני חזק יותר ובריא יותר, יש לי את האפשרות ליהנות יותר עם האנשים האהובים עליי.
You get yourself sick, you're too busy trying to get yourself healthy and all that. You can't make nobody else happy, they all worried about you. You get healthy, you can spend more time with your loved ones.
אם אדם חולה, אז הוא עסוק בלרפא את עצמו, וכל הסביבה שלו עסוקה בו, והוא לא יכול להיות עסוק בלאהוב את הסובבים אותו, להקדיש להם זמן.
Now listen at this other one. This is what the Breatharian path will do. Read that other one.
I wish I would have worried less. Imagination, create things you don't want.
Oh, imagine. All right.
Imagination.
But what they're saying, I wish I would have worried less. When you start getting healthier on this path, you'll worry less.
הלוואי שהיינו דואגים פחות.
That's what I was talking about, Samadhi. Samadhi is basically you living a quiet life. A quiet life is a spiritual life.
אנחנו חיים באופן שקט, בחיים רוחניים נטולי
That's what you see.
דאגות.
It ain't no noisy, chaotic life. A spiritual life is a quiet life. And a quiet life is a life where you worry less.
חיים שקטים רוחניים הם חיים שבהם יש לנו פחות ופחות דאגות.
Oh, now read that next one. You ain't got to read the parentheses. Number 3. This is what the Breatharian path to give you. Listen at this.
I wish I had forgiven more.
I wish I would have forgiven more. You can forgive people more because you know they ain't going to be here long if they keep acting up. They transient beings, here today, gone tomorrow. You start having more love out of your heart. So you can forgive people easier. You done learned the game.
הלוואי שהייתי סלחן יותר, סבלן יותר, כי כל האנשים במילא היום הם כאן, מחר הם לא יהיו פה. עדיף להשקיע את האנרגיה ביותר יחס של אהבה וחמלה.
You're free from grudges.
אני נטול מטינה, נקמה, revenge.
Right. Free from it.
Yes.
The healthier you get and you on this path and it start bringing the light into the body, it gives you these benefits where you won't waste your life. Now read that next one on what it does for you in your life.
I wish I had stood up for myself.
I wish I would have stood up for myself. There was a time I had to stand up for myself. You know how people say, well, wouldn't it be rude if somebody, gave you some food when you got to their house and you turned it down? At first I thought like that, but no, not now. I got a right to care about my health, what I put in my body. I ain't got to make you happy by what you just gave me. You should respect me on how I want to be. I stood up for myself.
אני עומד בשביל עצמי, בשביל העקרונות שלי. נניח אם אליתום נכנס לתוך בית ומציעים לו אוכל, אז הוא לא מקבל את זה מתוך נימוס, בגלל שהוא עומד למען העקרונות שלו.
Stand up for yourself. That's how you got to do it.
Stand up for
Make
your
parameters.
rights.
Right, make your parameters. We try to keep the temple going. All right, this is what the Breatharian path do. Read that other one, number 5.
I wish I had lived my own life.
Here we go. I wish I would have lived my own life. I tried to have a girlfriend one time until she always wanted to go out to eat. I don't eat. So I'm not living my own life. That's wasting my time. So ain't no use to me being there. So now I'm living my own life.
לחיות את החיים שלי באמת, ולא את החיים של מישהו אחר. נניח, אם אני לא אוכל ויש לי חברה, והיא כל היום רוצה ללכת לאכול, אז אני צריך ללכת איתה. וזה מבזבז את הזמן שלי. לעמוד בשביל עצמי.
Right. Now read that next one.
I wish I had learned more, I had been more honest with myself.
I wish I would have been more honest with myself. Then you ain't got to agree to disagree and all this other stuff. When the light start cleaning you up and you get healthy, you're clear on where you need to be and you're straight up honest with yourself.
כשהאור כבר עובר דרכי ומנקה אותי, מאוד ברור לי מה נכון לי, מה לא נכון לי, ובאמת להיות אמיתית עם עצמי.
Even on this path, when I started out, some foods was easy to leave alone, but there was some I still loved deep down inside. You ain't got to fake it no more. Let me go enjoy those foods, and if you're going to eat something you really want to eat. Just don't eat just to be eaten or just because somebody... Right, be honest with yourself. I mean it because I love it, and this is what I want right now.
בתחילת הדרך שלי sorry, I'm on fire. בתחילת הדרך שלי, כשכאן אכלתי, אז להיות אמיתי עם עצמי, לאכול מה שבאמת אני אוהבת, ממה שאני באמת נהנית.
Man, this is good.
מה שמזין אותי, מה שעושה לי טוב.
Now let's read that one right there.
9. I wish I had lived up to my full potential.
That's where it's at. This is part of your full potential.
לחיות להגשמה המלאה ביותר שלי.
Man, who wouldn't want that? You should be curious to see what you're going to become.
אני רוצה להיות סקרן, לדעת מה יצא ממני, מי אני
Oh,
אהיה, מה
man.
אני אגשים.
That's why this is a good age we're in. We're going further and further. It's sort of like the Guinness Book of World Records or the, what's they call that, the Olympics. Somebody will break a record,
ספר השיאים של גיניס, אני רוצה לשבור שיא בחיים שלי.
and you be like, after that record, I don't see nobody that can break that.
ואז אני לא רואה אחרי ששברתי את השיא הזה מישהו
But somebody
להגיע
come and do it.
למצב הזה.
Somebody come and break it. So you got to keep breaking your own record. Yeah, give yourself little goals and all that. Right? See how far you can go. Don't let nobody put you down. You can't.
להמשיך לשבור שיאים נוספים.
Oh, man, this is good, ain't it?
אף אחד לא יוריד אותי.
I'm traveling around the world right now. I told my mind I'm going to do that one day, and I'm doing it. Right. Seeing your highest potential.
אני נוסע
Put
בכל
yourself to the
העולם.
test.
אני אמרתי לעצמי שאני אעשה את זה, ועכשיו אני עושה את זה. אני שם את עצמי למבחן באופן מוחלט.
Oh, man. I'll read that next one. Oh, no, not that one. That one.
That one. I wish I had cared less about
Here we go.
what other people think.
I wish I would have cared less what other people think. Now, when I first started this path, okay, you can see I'm a thin man. Okay, here we go. Now, of course, when I first started out, I was overweight once upon a time. So when I lost the weight real fast, somebody could say, be careful, it's a problem, you're listening to other people. But now, since I'm maintaining this weight and when people meet me, they'll say, okay, no problem. But before, when you listen to these negative voices, something wrong, you sick, you that. And that's why people get scared to work on themselves, because they listen to everybody else telling them what image they want them to be in. You ain't got to listen to that. Do what's making you happy, what's making you healthy. Right. And if it's working for you, stay on that path and keep going and stop listening to what other people tell you.
הלוואי שהייתי שם פחות על מה שאנשים אחרים אומרים לי מה לעשות, מה לא לעשות, כי בסופו של דבר אני זה שיודע הכי טוב מה נכון בשבילי.
I remember when I first let meat alone. Don't do that, you can't do that, you listen to those people. And I'm sitting here feeling better, but they try to get me to give, this is how we think. Now then, when I went to Live and Raw Foods, well, you need some of that in your diet. Shut up.
דעות מקדימות, נניח
That's what we talk about, Samadhi.
בתחילת הדרך של להיות טבעוני, אז אנשים באים ואומרים, אתה חייב בשר, אם לא תאכל בשר, יקרה לך ככה, יקרה לך ככה, אז פשוט תעזבו אותי, תהיו שקטים, בכל שלב תמיד יש למישהו משהו להגיד.
Even now, people be talking to me, how about carbohydrates and glucose? You don't even know what that means. Who told you that?
מים
You ain't never seen a vitamin in your life and you up here questioning me.
וסוכרים וויטמינים, אף אחד לא מבין מה זה ויטמינים, אף אחד לא ראה ויטמין בחיים שלו. By the way, I was just sent a movie by one of the members in the community that showed people like testing the vitamin pills, putting them in the oven and baking them, and then they started to pop up like burnt plastic. That shows that it's not a vitamin, it's a synthetic product that reacts like plastic.
Just killing people.
That's what they're feeding us.
See, that's the game of the world again. See, that's another thing about the Breatharian path. You ain't got to worry about stuff like that.
כשאנחנו נמצאים במשעול הזה של ההתקיימות הטהורה הזאת, אנחנו לא צריכים לדאוג מהרעלים שהתעשייה דוחפת לנו לאוכל, גם לדברים שאנחנו חושבים שהם בריאים.
You save a lot of money. You ain't got to buy toilet paper.
Right? חוסכים מלא כסף, לא צריך לקנות נייר טואלט.
You're driving and traveling. You ain't got to say, well, I got to go use the bathroom now. Pull out over here. All this other stuff. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
משוחררים מהשירותים, what else?
You have more energy. Serious, sometimes you wake up in the morning, I overslept. You overslept because it's what you ate last night. 9 times out of 10 is that. I slept, I stayed in the bed, all that old stuff.
אנשים נתקעים במיטה בגלל שהם אכלו כבד בלילה שעבר ולא יכולים לקום מוקדם.
Now there is some things, again, I'm not trying to push you not to eat, I'm pushing you to eat right, eat less, and then food freedom if you choose to. But if you do eat, chew your food thoroughly into a liquid. Here we go. We
אני
gotta get
דוחף
basics
אתכם
again.
לאכול באופן הנכון ביותר, לא לאכול אלא לאכול נכון. אז כלל ראשון זה בלעיסה, ללעוס את האוכל עד שהוא יהפך להיות נוזלי ורק אז לבלוע אותו.
If you overeat, you're gonna wake up hungry the next day.
אכילה
Those
מרובה
are the
מעבר
rules.
למידה, אז אתם תקומו רעבים ביום שלמחרת.
If you eat, you need to drink. See, if you don't eat, you don't need to drink. See, not only food decrease and the mucus get out of you, you don't become thirsty.
הליכה פוחתת, יש פחות צמאון כי פחות אוכלים.
But if you've eaten, you need to drink.
אם
Is this making
אוכלים
sense?
צריך לאכול. זה מחייב כבר, אם אוכלים זה מחייב את השתייה.
And if you're eating, you should exercise.
ואם אנחנו אוכלים, אז מאוד חשוב שנעשה תרגול פיזי.
That helps with blood circulation, helps with the food to get through your digestive system.
שתהיה זרימת דם, שהאוכל יזרום דרך המערכת של המעיים, מערכת העיכול, שתהיה תנועה, זרימה טובה.
Now, even though that's basics 101, we need to always tell the foundation, because without a strong foundation, you ain't gonna last long.
אנחנו צריכים שתהיה לנו תשתית חזקה ועוצמתית כדי שהיא תוכל לקיים אותנו.
So as we move on, and as you're hearing this knowledge, this won't be the last time you heard it. You're going to hear it more and more. And there's more information. This is the most information we had ever dealing with the benefits of the sun, the benefits of connecting with the earth, the benefits of your breath.
זו לא פעם ראשונה ולא אחרונה שאנחנו נשמע על השיטה הזאת, על הצורת חיים הזאת. אנחנו גם עוסקים עם ספיגת היתרונות של השמש, היתרונות של האוויר, היתרונות של החיבור לאדמה.
The benefits of all types of stuff. You can find it, you can start incorporating it in your life slowly. But since I gave you this other memo now, because we're like computers, yes, you can eat very little or not at all. And you would start experiencing it, but first somebody had to tell you so you could have it downloaded in you.
אנחנו נמצא את כל היתרונות האלה, אחד אחרי השני זה גם יגיע אלינו, אנחנו נוריד את זה בתור תוכנה לתוך עצמנו, ונתחיל להתקיים מזה. Just if I could just add that since I meet you, like I know you, let's say for 5 months.
Right.
So when I met you on the bus, then we were talking about the food, and I was saying, yes, I was in Dry Fast, I was in Vision Quest, so I know what you're talking about.
Right.
And then you said, okay, I said, what would you suggest me? So you said 5 things. One of them was go more into high vibration foods, green shakes. Okay, anyway, I did it. But today I'm in a situation that I'm only on fruits, 1 or 2 fruits a day.
Right.
And in between some fruit juice, some shake, with only 2 ingredients, so it's very slight.
Right.
And I'm very happy. I didn't think before. Before I thought I was eating healthy. I was vegan. I wasn't eating meat. I wasn't eating fried. I wasn't eating sweets. But now I'm even more healthy, and it's more natural for my body. And my body believes that it's possible also to get further. And after this will be established, naturally I will get further.
Right. Naturally.
So it just happens. אני פשוט מספרת שהיום אני שותה בעיקר מיצים מאוד עדינים של פירות, אוכלת פרי 1 או 2 ביום, ומאוד מאוד מרוצה, זה אפשרי, זה קל, אני מלאה באנרגיה, ובאמת טוב לי, ואף אחד לא מכריח אותי. Nobody's forcing me.
Nobody's forcing
Yeah.
you. So take your time on this, because you are all you get. You understand? And as long as your feet is on the ground, take your time with yourself. Have a good time. Don't put no big restrictions on yourself. There might be that time you might want to have that meal that day to pig out on all the good work you did to yourself and pat yourself on the back. Do that. You understand? Because the happiness is an energy. And if you're happy, that's the thing that's going to nourish you. Ain't no use of doing something that's good for you if you're miserable.
אז אנחנו לא רוצים לאמלל את עצמנו, ומדי פעם כן לפנק את עצמנו, כי מה שמסב לנו שמחה, גם אם זה איזה מאכל טוב מדי פעם, זה נותן לנו כוח. השמחה ממלאת אותנו באנרגיה.
Now this is good once again. We're still enjoying the full moon out there, which is another energy. Because we're also hooked up with the external forces. That's another ball game. So we got all this in our favor to help us. But we just have to understand we have a light body that's in us, that is us, that we can start cultivating and watch it work for you.
האנרגיה למשל עכשיו של הירח המלא גם תומכת בנו, וכל הזמן כמו לחבור לכוח הזה, לאכול אותו ולראות איך הכוחות של היקום תומכים בנו ועובדים איתנו.
Now, any questions?
My question is, so you don't eat or drink anything at all?
No,
Never?
never. Matter of fact, so now, okay, let's go back. The last meal was 2017 with my son when he went back to Europe of October. Now, my whole interview, I've been doing many interviews. I got a YouTube channel I could get you to that will tell my whole journey. Now, the whole thing is, if you hear, what we're saying is that your question to me, meditation is the foundation. You got energy channels in your body. Those have to be open. It's just like a river flowing. The reason why you eat now is because of energy. Bottom line. Food is fossil fuels, dead plants and animals. There's other ways to get fuel.
האוכל שלנו למעשה זה סוג של דלק, שזה, ודלק זה בעלי חיים מתים, זה מה שמרכיב את הדלק, וצמחים מתים, וברגע שאנחנו פותחים את הערוצים של האנרגיה, יש דרכים חדשות למלא את הערוצים האלה באנרגיה קיומית. היא שאלה אם הוא לא אוכל ולא שותה בכלל, אז הוא אמר לה להיכנס לערוץ יוטיוב ולראות את ההיסטוריה שלו. מה? He asked if you're 2 years not eating and drinking.
No, you said from 2017?
No, wait, hold on, what is that? 2017 of October. Now keep in mind, I've been on this path for 19 years. There's been many long periods I took without eating. I just let you know the last meal that I had with my son, and we had that meal because we were basically celebrating. See, this is a skill. You could pick up and eat food, or you could lay it down. It's just a fuel source. You are a hybrid. You understand?
You don't drink also?
You don't need to drink also. That's just another form of molecules spinning together. The reason why you feel thirsty is because of the mucus in your system. Bottom line, your body wants to wash it out.
ההליכה בתוך הגוף יוצרת את תחושת עצמה, ואז הגוף רוצה להכניס נוזלים כדי לשטוף את הליכה כשהגוף לא נקי. זה אחד הסיבות לעצמה או סיבה עיקרית.
Now listen at this. Your body creates mucus to help you. It's a slimy, when you wake up in the morning, you all deal with it. That's the mucus. Your mouth is connected to your anus. The less mucus you have in your system, the less thirsty you will feel. So that's why you got to take yourself with this self-realization. Any more questions?
You want a cup of tea?
Huh?
You want a cup of tea?
Oh, listen at him.
He's testing you.
A cup of tea.
Maybe something more attractive.
Yeah, something more attractive.
First, I want to say I appreciate everything that you said. Right on point. Let's have one concern, and that's with water.
Right.
Concern, I have a serious concern with water, being that our bodies, our physical bodies, are alive, they are with us, and they are 70% water.
Right.
Now, you're saying, what about the lifestyles, the different lifestyles that people lead in terms of doing hard work, or
Gotcha.
sweating, or in the sun for extended periods of time? How is this to be replenished?
Oh man, I got you. I learned a new lesson today too. I'm gonna put that in.
הוא שואל איך הגוף יכול להתקיים ללא המים בלי סכנת התייבשות, כי הגוף מורכב מ-70% מים.
Now the body, let's put it like this. Let me see which route I'll take. The fluids in your body, the liquids, first of all, they're produced by the body. Your blood is produced by your bone marrow. Your cerebral spinal fluid, your brain is sitting in a fluid. That's produced from the atmosphere you're living in. And it makes an exchange. It just don't stay there. It's moving around and it's circulating, but it comes from the atmosphere. And they're showing you that right now. This is a good age we live in dealing with YouTube. They'll show you the circulation cycle, where it comes from. Your body is a great absorber of energy. So much so that they even tell your holistic practitioner, don't put nothing on your body you wouldn't eat. Now, everybody take your hand and just feel the atmosphere. You're living in water, but somebody has to tell this to you. Everywhere you go, even on a hot day. Now, since I'm saying this to you now, next time it's hot, there is still moisture. Your body knows it's there. Now, for it to work at that level to get the water from the atmosphere, now for number one, your body's grabbing a liter of water anyway from the atmosphere, whether if you're eating or not. But when you're not eating, your body's working at a higher capacity. Now let me get into this now. Like they say, your body absorbs vitamin D from the sun, or make that connection. It works with synthesis. So it's absorbing everything, creating what it needs. So just like with people who fast a lot, one report they say not only on a certain day their food decrease, also the thirst decrease. It decreased because the body's getting rid of a lot of the mucus, it don't need it. And once it gets to a certain level with these liquids or fluids, it produces its own. It's its own self-sustaining mechanism.
אז ראשית,
sorry.
הגוף, יש לו, אנחנו חיים באווירה שהיא ספוגה במים. יש לנו עדים של מים באוויר, גם כשיש שמש. ברגע שהגוף משתכלל עקב זה שאוכלים פחות, אז גוברת היכולת לספוג את המים מהאטמוספירה, בדיוק כמו שאנחנו סופגים ויטמין D מהשמש.
Now this what came to me today before.
excuse me. והשלב הבא זה שהגוף גם מתחיל לייצר את הנוזלים הנדרשים לגוף מתוך עצמו בתוך מערכת פנימית סגורה. A closed internal system.
Now check this out. We as humans, there's a lot we don't understand. I look at these four elements, the water, the earth, the fire, and the air. If we split them up. But as I'm on this path, I'm finding out that they're all one. Today I did an ice challenge where we went into the ice and I laid down in there. It's the Wim Hof ice challenge. That was earlier today. But the conclusion of the story is, I said that this water burnt me. I said, this is fire. You know, we're talking about it, but we're going through this experience. And then when you look at it, the sun has this what? Hydrogen. And hydrogen is the most abundant thing in the universe. But why would they use the word hydrogen for the sun, which is fire, and hydro deals with water? It makes you wonder. But as we're going through this experience, and what I'm finding out, this air is liquid. These gases is fluid.
אז אנחנו מגלים ברמה יותר גבוהה שכל היסודות למעשה מאוחדים ביניהם ועוברים ממצב אחד לשני. למעשה ההתייחסות של מימן לשמש מתייחסת גם למים, או היום אליטום עשה אתגר של אמבטיית קרח, והוא הרגיש שהמים והקרח שרפו אותו, אז המים הפכו, הקרח הפך להיות אש. כל הזמן יש תחלופה בין המשחק של האלמנטים והיסודות.
In this body, even though we don't feel it now, we're sitting here, but this circulation system is, there's a river moving through us right now as we're sitting, going through the feet. All this stuff is taking place. And sort of like your hemoglobin, which is your blood, it draws light to it. It does it automatically without us even thinking. There's so many things taking place with this body.
המערכות
It's
של
unbelievable.
הגוף שלנו פועלות מתוך עצמם, יש נהר של חיים שזורם בתוך הגוף שלנו. ההמוגלובין שלנו קולט אור מהסביבה, וכל המערכות האלה עובדות בלי שאנחנו מפקחים עליהן באופן מודע.
Now, I will tell you this. People who live on prana, water is the last thing you want to ask them. You know, where do you drink water? We do that because we associate water with health, which to a food eater, water is healthy. Drink plenty of water. Absolutely. It's the greatest soluble on the planet. I could go on and on and on. Water is a miracle. You understand? But when you get on and grab this skill, if a person drinks something, it ain't going to be water. They're going to drink something that they really want to drink. Remember I said, right, you got the ability to. It's going to go right through your body. The water's not giving you life, nor is that thing you just drink. That's a whole other piece.
בן אדם שאוכל, אז הגוף שלו כן זקוק למים. בן אדם שמתקיים ללא אכילה, הוא יכול גם לוותר על המים, ואם כבר מגיעים למצבים כאלה, אז לשתות מה שבאמת אוהבים, למשל. בן אדם שאוכל פחות, הגוף משתנה, כל המערכות הפנימיות משתנות והמושגים משתנים.
Your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you my card. I'll give you after it's over.
All right.
Absolutely. And that YouTube channel, I try to put videos on all the time that will answer those questions. Straight to the point. Even dealing with the liquid journey. I got liquid journey 1 and 2 so people can get a thorough understanding. And there's something on how we come into that. See, first you got theoretical knowledge. The theory's being let out. You hear it. But next comes the practical knowledge, where you need to practice to see what they're talking about. See, that's information within itself. Because your mind only will go so far with the theoretical, but until you start coming into it. Like, for instance, when we say reprogramming the body, we can talk the theory, but that's basically what you're doing. One time in meditation, I told my body, get everything you need from other sources. From that day forward, it seemed like energy was being pulled here, there. All this stuff, I'm going through the experience. It's hard to explain an experience. We do our best. We try to get the right words for it. But until you go through the experience, then you'll know. And then it'll be your experience.
רק ברגע שהגוף באמת חווה את החוויה הזאת של התהליכים האלה, זה הופך להיות חוויה אישית שנרכשת, ולא משהו שאני שומע מבחוץ שבן אדם אחר עשה או השיג צורה כזאת של קיום.
So just like you just asked me that question, and I came back to you, I just kind of had that revelation today. I jumped in the ice water, it burnt me, it was warm. But at the same time, as the sun was hitting the day, I felt water. They're one and the same. It's our mind that's separating everything. But when you start going through the experience, you're connected with everything, and it don't mean the hell of beings. Everything is nourishing everything, and every system is connected.
המוח שלנו הוא זה שיוצר את ההפרדות, אבל למעשה כל המערכות קשורות, והכל מזין את הכל, הכל מחובר ביחד. המוח פשוט עושה את ההפרדות בין העצמים והגופים והאנרגיה.
So, to the coming with a blessing. So you saying is that all of the elements is one.
One element.
So
It's just like
the 3, the 4, the 5 element that they have in
right.
teach on.
All
Take
the
on,
same
or
element.
no, it's all one.
It's all one.
It's all one.
Same energy.
Same energy.
And you start experiencing this now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm going through right now. It's all one. See, it's just like when we teach the chakras. There's 7 chakras. And your first chakra, but in reality, there's only one chakra. If one is low, the rest of them is low.
Right.
If one's not functioning, the rest of them ain't functioning. It's one. And they ain't even in your body, they're in your head.
זו אותה אנרגיה שמזינה את כל היסודות, את האלמנטים, את הצ'קרות, הכל זה אחד והכל זה נמצא בתוך המוח. צ'קרה אחת והיא נמצאת בתוך המוח, למשל.
So therefore there are no separations such as water, food,
Right. None whatsoever. Even as good and bad we give things. That's something that our mind is creating, but that's a whole nother level of thought. It's all being created right here.
That's from another story.
That's a whole nother story. Boom. And me, I love talking this subject. I could go on and on and on. This is it. This is the final frontier. And this is the package that's being opened up now in this day of age we're in. That's why even the medical and scientific profession, they ain't talking against prana. They at the festivals, they're doing more. They bringing out the information helping. Everybody coming together now. This is the final frontier. Everything's being overturned.
יש יותר קבוצות שעוסקות בתוך הידע הזה, אירועים בינלאומיים, פסטיבלים, שאנשים פשוט מתגבשים, מתאספים ביחד ועוסקים בידע הזה, בהעמקה, בהתחזקות, בהתפתחות.
All one being.
So, in essence, this is the Big Bang.
This is the Big Bang. This is it. The Big Bang or the black hole.
Right.
One or the other.
אנחנו במפץ הגדול,
It's over with.
שחור שחור.
It's over. This is it. This is it. This is over. This is the final. We're in Samadhi right now.
Get it.
It is finished. All that other stuff, we just slowly because we're all one being.
So being swallowed into the black hole.
Right.
Everybody.
And everybody's
אנחנו
going
נבלעים
to,
בחזרה לתוך החור.
and this is how bold it is. Everybody's coming into this willingly or unwillingly because we're all one being. That's why I don't fight nobody or hold grudges no more. It's just like, oh, that's another part of myself. Just want to know. Come on. Right. We're just all taking the ship in.
לכן היחסים גם משתפרים,
It's over.
כי אין לי מה לריב עם השני, זה חלק ממני שפשוט מתנהג ככה.
Oh man, this is good. Good food for thought. Any more questions?
They said that Samadhi leads to Panya. So if you can say some word about that.
I heard of that word before. Panya is.
Like the second stage after Samadhi.
Oh yeah, I looked at that one. That's all I did was look at it. I'll let you know when I get there. I'm just in a Samadhi state.
Meet you there.
Yeah, we'll meet each other there. Absolutely. And I like how he brought that up. And see, the answer is key. We ain't got to answer nothing we don't know yet. You understand? I just up to the point where I'm teaching what I know. I'm just sharing my experience. That's all we can do. And then we get in trouble when we try to go to places, well, I think it means, I don't know. Or I'll point you to somebody who do know. Right. That's how we got to work now. And then when everybody start working on that, because everybody got something in their package that you're good at. And that's why we all one entity. See, that's why on one level you're going to transform yourself from a homo sapien, as they call us in science, to a homogeneous. You know everything.
אנחנו רוצים לשדרג את עצמנו מיצור אנושי ליצור גאוני.
And this is awesome, homogeneous. Because the answer's always in you, but even if it ain't in you, somebody else will give it to you. We always go through that. That was just what I was thinking for. This event just happened, or this person, that's what I needed. We're always doing that to ourselves. But we're opening up more to the other aspect of our consciousness. This is awesome. You go, girl. She ready to. She like.
No, I'm just curious. So, wife, children, or family do you have? Have you had since you've been in?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I got one son, and he's 21 now, and he's teaching prana now. See, it even come in levels and degrees on your age, your life experiences, and what type of life you created for yourself. Like I got one son, so I've been on this path for 19 years. So there was a time I decided to eat every other weekend. Now listen at this. Now that's still breatharian. It's to eat very little or none at all. Now, every other weekend, you just broke the record already. Think about it. Or what they said supposed to keep you healthy. But your responsibility is you created your family. Food brings a family together. You ain't got to isolate yourself. That's where people make the mistake. Because this message we're talking is a unified message. Family and friends is what nourishes you. You want that force to come together. Is this making sense? So you ain't got to take a spiritual practice and exclude yourself. When I was in the States, I was already food free, didn't have to eat. But one day I went to one of my aunt's birthday party, and I decided to get one of those pitchers of pop and a small ice cream, all right, to fit in with everybody. Now, they already cleared that I don't eat or nothing like that, but they were so happy that you didn't exclude yourself. You didn't put yourself on no high horse. I'm a high vibration. That's a low vibration. Stop it. There is no high or low vibration. It's all one high vibration, or it's just a vibration.
אל תרגישו שאם אתם הולכים נניח לאירוע משפחתי, אז הם בתדר נמוך ואנחנו בתדר גבוה ועכשיו הם יורידו אותנו, כי כל התדרים מאוחדים בסך הכל.
So a lot of people will, in the beginnings especially, will get this skill, but then everybody will put them on Jump Street. You better not never eat again. Now, they already broke the record. Okay, I did 6 months. How long do I have to do? And as soon as they do, try to be with the family, be with a loved one, get in a relationship, taste something. See, I told you, you needed something. That's what they was doing to each other. So that's why we got to educate people. Even when you learn the skill, you ain't got to put the commitment to say, I'll never eat again. You got the skill now. But it brought you into a whole nother level where you should be able to pick food down and lay it down, just like anything else. Instead of the last memo you had, I got to go over and over again, or I'm going to die. I need something to eat today. La, 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 la. That's a whole nother cycle.
But that's a strong conflict, what you just said. I mean, it knocked me out. For in the past half an hour, I hear you, and now you said some stuff about stand for yourself and do what you need to do for yourself.
Right.
And now it's a paradigm, eating with your family, because this is what not to exclude yourself in order to be.
That was for myself. That was for myself. Now listen.
Ice cream?
That was for myself.
What, to feel belong?
That was for myself. Have fun for yourself. Stand up for yourself.
Having fun can be also not eating the ice cream.
Oh, absolutely. But I didn't want to feel that way that day.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? At the time and the moment you're in, have fun, stand up for yourself on what you want to do. And if that's the day you needed that to make you happy, it's for you and not for nobody else. You don't have to grab an idea.
But you are grabbing an idea of food that brings people together.
It does. And I told you in the beginning that the physical body needs to eat. I understand where everybody's at. My message is not contradictory at all. It depends on how you... See, this is why I have to teach it this way. You might have a family where you got a whole bunch of kids around. I wouldn't tell you, it wouldn't benefit you to be food-free in that situation. Why? Because you got food on your mind just like to feed them. You do. That wouldn't even make sense. So on standing up for yourself, you created the family, you're taking responsibility for it. Now, I ain't going to always be that age. It's sort of like when I was raising my son. Every other weekend, I chose to eat with him. I created him. I want to have a good time with him. That's for me. Not for his benefit. It was fun. And then when he got to a certain age, he said, well, Dad, I don't want to hang out with you this weekend. I want to go hang out with my friends. Oh, now I don't got to eat every other weekend. I can carry on to somewhere else. Do you see what I'm saying? Take the message like a puzzle and fit it where you need it. You don't need to be rigid. I'm not rigid. I wasn't teaching like that at all. And I'm not rigid on myself. This is why I was able to progress. When you be rigid on yourself and you try to suppress it, one day it will come up when you're not rigid on yourself, have fun along the way. Now, if I'm telling you to have fun along the way, what you think I did? What you think I'm doing? Having fun?
אז
Absolutely.
אתה מצליח לעקוב? עוקבים? סבבה.
So, you get what I'm saying?
I am. So actually the practice you were talking about of meditation, it's the same. Like it can be any meditation that brings you into happiness and silence.
Right.
Silence.
Now listen at this, or what she just said. Get a meditation. I could tell you meditations, but you might not like them. Because everybody's different. That's why there's so many meditations. Some people like sound. Some people like chanting. Some people like music with the meditation. Some people like it silent. There's so many meditations. Get one that you like. Because if you like that meditation, you will stick with it a lot longer. You ain't going to stick with nothing you don't like. It'll be like, man, what am I doing this for? Your mind is start, yeah, forget this. This is too hard. I got other things to do. But if you got something you like, and you could trade off on them. You might have a season where you like the chanting, enjoy the chanting. But then you might say, I want to learn more about light meditation. Should I really give that up? No, if that's what you want to learn, complete your learning, grow, and go with what you really love. That's the energy that feeds you. Now, what I mean by stand up for yourself, going back for that, when you do make a declaration to do something, yeah, don't be afraid to stand up for it. You know, this is where I'm at this season. Last season I probably wasn't, not this season. That's what we're talking about. Oh,
I'm just curious. How old are you?
50. How is that in the moon signs? I had it written down. 600 and something full moons. Oh, go ahead.
What I'm getting out of what you're saying is it's a behavior and it's a choice, and it's choices that you make all along the way, and the choices are according to your elevation in it, and the behavior and the choices are in a life experience. And it's not something that you make rigid for yourself, because it's your choices. Mm-hmm. So you're free in your choices to elevate as you feel or as free as you are. And it's not about food.
It's not about food.
And it's not about no food.
Mm-hmm.
But the less food that you consume, the higher you're able to go and connect with the spirit.
Absolutely.
So the foods that you do choose, you choose foods that would allow you to not hold you down so much in the physical experience. So according to where you want to go is the choices that you make. And life is the choices that you make, and the choices that you make them because you're the one that has to live them. So it's all a discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So that, but the disciplines you make with the choices that you make, ones that you're able to deal with, not somebody else, and for somebody else's benefit, or for what somebody else's for their appearance, somebody else's how somebody else looks at it.
Right. And you get hit it right on the nose. Now check this out. We are social creatures. So what that means is, even though no man's an island, now listen at this. So you always are going to have some things where you probably don't really want to do it. You understand? You're going to do it for other people. That's our nature, to get along. There's nothing wrong with that. However, this just frees you up more to say, too, I gave you that, though, but this is what I really want to work on for myself. So there's always going to be that balance of working with yourself, but also working with the collective, even though they're one. And by working on yourself, you're helping the collective. Is that making sense?
That makes you an image.
What's that?
it makes you an image, and being an image, people see that it affects others.
Absolutely.
Just like Yah put us here to be in his representation,
Right.
for everybody else
Likeness
to
and
be
image.
his image.
That imagination.
To make, so you make, what is it? You make a image, a representation for others to live to.
Oh, absolutely. See, it's sort of like we talk about, you got the inward teacher and you got the external teacher. Now, now the external teacher is needed at times. That image to focus on is sort of like the internal light that's in you isn't strong enough, especially when you first starting out. Yes, we could say that the teacher's in you and this and that, but it's not strong enough. That's what I was started off this talk in the beginning, that the light body that's in you is not strong enough yet. That's why you have to cultivate it to get stronger. So that's why you follow at least a message or an external teacher or whatever, so that you can focus on getting it stronger. Once it gets to a certain degree to get stronger, then you could better trust yourself and deal with that's in you to start guiding you, and you don't really need the external teacher no more. Because that's just a mirror of you anyway to get stronger. Is that making sense? So that's why I do know my responsibility as I'm teaching. Yeah, my image do mean a lot because it's helping bring out something out of somebody.
Right, like a coach.
Right. But after a while, I don't expect them to follow me. I don't expect that. You big enough now. You got it.
It's your choice.
Right.
like all the saviors that have come have laid a path and left you. Because
Right.
you were supposed to take it on.
You got to take it on. It's your responsibility.
Your responsibility.
Yes.
So even when I teach this, see, on one level, if I was like caught up in the flesh and ego to say, oh, these people ain't listening to the message and la, 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 it ain't my problem.
Right.
That's what the light did. All I'm doing is just talking and let it take care of it. The light is already in you. The message is there. It's plain as day. It's hitting in plain sight. Now you got to work with it. See, even if I was to sit with you for days and we had to go over stuff, you ain't going to know it until you do it. Then I'm gone. I'm out of there. That's it. Nobody gets away.
Anything makes you mad. Are you annoyed by people?
The word we use is increased stimuli. There is situations that will give you increased stimuli, but you don't get mad and all of this. It soothes itself down and you know how to handle it. So in other words, you don't get mad. It's just increased stimuli. You look at it, and then you ask yourself the question, what am I doing to myself now? You start figuring it out and straighten it out, and that's it. It's a whole nother ball game. You keep growing and developing. This is a good thing. Oh, but the mad, like you talking, oh, nah, that don't happen.
Yeah, embrace the pain.
Right. That's something else. Oh my
Talk
gosh.
about the way you work, you make two questions. One is if you have to have a discipline or it's come natural for you. And the second thing is how you connect it to the breath.
Oh, the breath.
Yeah.
Oh, I like how you said that. Well, connected to the breath, they got a thing called pranayama, which is a word which means breath exercises. People go through those, but once you utilize the breath how you want it and learn how to breathe, open up energy channels, you don't need to keep practicing that no more. So to answer that, everybody's connected to the breath if that's how you try to say it. It's just an awareness. Remember I said earlier, it's the way I'm thinking that makes the difference. I just think totally different. And your thinking weighs a lot of how your life and your body and everything is behaving. It's all in the thought process. When you come into the practices, they just bring your body into another cycle of a behavior that it will get used to. Sort of like when I started fasting once a week. At first it was hard, never fasted before, to do this 24 hours. Then I figured it out. I went to the restaurant, my favorite restaurant before the fast started. And then when the fast was over, I went back to my favorite restaurant. That helped. All right? But I still did my 24-hour fast. But it came a day, your body got so used to that same day, same time, it became easy.
Right.
I'm walking around, I'm shopping, I'm doing this,
Right.
Working or whatever. It didn't matter. Your body got used, because we're creatures of habits. But then, when I came into food freedom, I already had that day mastered up under my belt through fasting. But fasting and food freedom is two different things. Here we go again. Fasting is temporary for the physical body. But it is temporary. Food freedom, or living on prana, is permanent, where the body could go on because it's going to another energy source. Now let's talk about these energy sources so it can make sense. Your brain is like the CPU unit of the body, of a computer. It's the main computer base, your brain. And it requires 500, what they call that, calories. The most out of every other organ. And the brain wants it so bad that it will shut down other body parts first for it to get its consumption of energy. It needs the most energy. That's where the thinking source is at. If the brain gone, the body's gone. All right, here we go now. So, right now, it depends off of the reason why you eat. You're giving your brain fuel. Now, notice I didn't say eating is unnatural. Your body's doing it for a reason. It's looking for fuel. That's what it's doing. And that's why they say your intestines is your second brain. Why is that? It got a bunch of neurons there. It produces DMT just like up here, because it's giving back the signals to keep that connection. It's giving back the energy it could get out of food. It's working on that level, but that's the lowest level it's working at. Here we go. This is where energy is stored. So when you see a person, their gut is way out, that's stored energy. It's doing its job just at that level. So what you're going to do, you got to figure out a way to give your brain the energy it needs other than food. Here we go now.
Because I was wondering how
Let's
you
go.
got
Let's
yours
go.
without food.
Let's go.
So now this is why I say meditation's a foundation. Your body is a good conductor of energy. It works with electricity. Hands down. That's why they say you got an electromagnetic field. The higher the electricity, the higher the magnetism. The higher the magnetism, the higher the electricity. Just like any other piece of physical matter. Your body's the same thing. It ain't no exception. So through meditation, as soon as you relax, energy or electrons start going up and down the body. Even cosmic energy is constantly coming down on us. That's why you start feeling it in your hands when you start really playing with energy workers and they start letting you feel your own energy. It's already there. So now, through constant meditation, heat love to rise upwards. So most of your heat is right here in your hip area. They got the term called the Kundalini energy. Even in the hospital, they got the caduceus, where they got the staff, and the serpent is coming up the staff. Why is that? Now, heat love to rise upward, what that means is, if you get a candle or a fire, put your hands up over it, the heat's rising upward. That's what it does by its nature. So the heat in your hip area, where do you think it's rising to? Constantly, it's coming up. But we're blocking it through habits, food, stress. That's the Shakti trying to get to Shiva. The energy in you is coming up on its own. Sexual energy, that's what we're calling it. From the first chakra all the way up to the seventh. But there's another cosmic force that's coming on you all the time. This is why I answer your question to say your cerebral spinal fluid in your body is produced from the atmosphere. Your thalamus in your brain is like an antenna. It's bringing in energy, converting it for what it needs, making the fluid, got these circulations going. So you literally are a biomachine. Now where was we going? The brain needs this fuel. So through meditation, you're getting stronger. Each time you meditate, sitting up under the light, breaking up blockages so this could come with no hindrances. To start taking place feeding the brain. That's why you see the saints in pictures with halos. They're going off another fuel source now. This is what it's all about. This needs the fuel of the body. If this got the fuel, it can fuel everything else. If it don't got the fuel, it starts shutting everything down or eating everything. That's why a person starves to death. Is this making sense? If it got its fuel, it's okay. Now there's another escape that comes into it. There's a thing called brahmachari, chastity, or celibacy. It's in every religion. And what they're basically saying is, and let's take a male since it's usually for the males. Females too, but I'll take him since he got this tangible sperm. It take about 40 drops of blood to make one sperm, and in each little sperm is like, 100,000 sperm cells and one ejaculation? That's a lot. And you put one sperm up under a microscope, on the tip of it is glowing.
אתה צריך את
אני
ההסבר?
אשמח לתרגום קצת.
Okay, as they need a bit of translation now.
Oh.
Going for the males and the brahmachari.
I'd have
So,
took off too.
כן.
I'm ready to get to these fuel sources.
אוקיי. אז נדבר על זה שבאמת שהכוח עולה ומזין את המוח, אז הגבר רוצה לשמור את הכוח של הזרע שלו. למשל, בכוח של הזרע יש אור אולטרה סגול, שאם נניח זרע נשפך בחוץ, אז יש מכשירים מיוחדים שיכולים לראות שהזרע ממש מפיק אור אולטרה סגול, וזה מראה את הכוח חיים שזה דבר חי. אז לכן הזרע גם מזין את המוח ברגע שמרגילים את הגוף, שהזרע יעלה כלפי מעלה, כלפי המוח, ולא יתבזבז בשפיכה, אז המוח מקבל גם אנרגיה מזה שיש את הסירקולציה הפנימית של הזרע באופן כזה.
ומאיפה הוא מקבל? כאילו, הבנתי שמה שחשוב זה שהמוח יקבל את ההזנה שלו.
את האנרגיה, כן.
את האנרגיה. אז יש, אוקיי, נגיד, יש את העניין של הזרע, ומאיזה עוד מקורות הוא יכול לקבל?
So he's asking, okay, the brain will receive energy from preserving the sperm, one, and from what other sources will the brain receive its energy for fuel?
Oh, the sperm, number one, the tangible part of it, back into the blood. Plus the body draws light to it. See, it's the transformation of the blood.
זה הדרך,
Let's get into
האדם מושך אליו אור פנימה.
אדם?
והאדם, דרך ההמוגלובין, סופח אור.
מהאור הוא מקבל את ההזנה?
From the light. He's asking if the blood receives the nutrition
Now, here we
from
go.
the light.
Now here we go. Your abdomen, now, okay, here we go. Your brain, it uses the most energy, but it doesn't store it.
המוח משתמש בהמון אנרגיה, אבל לא מאחסן את האנרגיה הזאת.
Your heart also brings the widest energy field off the body, but it doesn't store it.
אוקיי, גם בלב יש שדה אנרגטי הרחב ביותר, והוא גם לא משמר את האנרגיה הזאת, מאחסן אותה.
The place that stores energy is your abdomen, your intestines.
בתוך המעיים, בתוך האזור של הטבור, יש את המאגר של האנרגיה.
So on a low level, when you eat food, your intestines is working to pull the food from the feces what it needs, but it's working with stored energy. That's why we start having the guts and stuff like this. It's energy. But when you stop eating less, all people who go on a fast and start getting good at it will talk about this influx of energy they start having when you stop eating altogether.
כשאנחנו אוכלים פחות או נמנעים לחלוטין מאכילה, אז יש פתאום פרץ של אנרגיה והמון אנרגיה, כי כאן יש את המאגר של האנרגיה וזה לא חסום כתוצאה מהתהליכי עיכול או האנרגיה הנדרשת לעיכול.
Your abdomen starts storing the energy that it needs. That's why it got the same, it got brain cells just like in your brain, in the intestines, it produces DMT, all this other
יש
stuff.
תאי מוח שמייצרים גם DMT, והם נמצאים בתוך המעיים, והם יכולים לספוג אור ואנרגיה.
So through meditation again, as you're storing this energy, and most of it is in your Taoism text. They show you a baby being born in the abdomen.
ודרך התרגול של המדיטציה זה היכולת של ספיחה ושימור האנרגיה כאן באזור הזיגוברת, ובטקסטים של הדרך של הטאויסטים, של הסינים, שטיפחו את האנרגיה הגברית, אז אפשר לראות, זה רפואה מיוחדת סינית, שיש צורה של עובר בתוך המעיים, של כל הגוף האנושי נמצא פה.
So at a higher level, your intestines have a chance now to work at a higher level. It starts storing energy from the higher forces that's coming down on us.
המעיים אוגרים אנרגיה ממקורות אנרגיה יותר גבוהים, שכל הזמן יורדים כלפי מטה ממקורות עליונים, מוקרנים עלינו, ואז יש אפשרות תפקוד מוגברת ושונה.
And the cells of your body eats a high frequency energy called ATP.
תאי הגוף ניזונים מתדרים גבוהים של אנרגיה, שנקראים ביחידות ATP.
So all these different energy sources, the more you clean your body out, start coming together, and now the brain has the food it needs, the energy it needs.
ואז כל המקורות אנרגיה חוברים ביחד, והמוח גם יכול לקחת מהם את האנרגיה שהוא זקוק.
And if it got the energy it needs, then it could come back. Let's get back to the sperm. When that sperm goes back into the blood, and also the cerebral spinal fluid, and let me don't even say sperm, also for women, because they give off proteins, carbohydrates. It has a chance now to go back up into the cerebral spinal cycle, because your brain's sitting in the fluid. It goes back around, and now it goes to the vagus nerve.
ואז הכוח המיני, הכוח של הזרע, הכוח המיני גם של נשים, האנרגיה הזאת יכולה להיספג בחזרה לתוך מערכת הדם, להיספג לתוך הנוזל של עמוד השדרה, לעלות בחזרה למוח שהוא נח, שט, צף בתוך מים, ואז הוא נכנס לתוך עצב הווגוס.
And your vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve within the body, and it's called wonder, because it wanders all around, going to all the different organs. So now that fluid,
עצב נודד מהמוח שעובר דרך כל האיברים לעצב הארוך ביותר בכל הגוף.
that sexual fluid now has been converted, transformed into a mixture that now feeds the organs. That's why it's called an orgasm. It comes from the word organs.
ואז הכוח המיני הפך להיות חומר שמזין את האיברים, ובאנגלית שזה נקרא אורגזמה, אז זה מלשון שזה מזין את האיברים. אורגזם, organs.
Now
מזין איברים.
your sexual fluid that your body produced, it used the best cells that your body can make to make that fluid, because it can produce a human being.
הנוזל של הזרע משתמש בחומרים המשובחים ביותר בגוף כדי ליצור את הזרע, כי זה יוצר יצור אנושי.
So if you want your body, no matter what your lifestyle is, to produce even better, how should I say, sexual fluid, that's when you start living a cleaner, toxic-free lifestyle.
ואנחנו רוצים להזין את עצמנו ממזונות, או בצורת חיים שהיא נטולה רעלים, נטולה חומרים מזיקים, נטולה מאכלים מכבידים, כדי ליצור את הכוח הזה הפנימי משובח ביותר בנוזל של הגוף.
Because your sexual fluid, it changes its color, the way it smells, all this stuff based on a person's lifestyle.
הנוזל של התאי זרע משנה את המראה שלו, את הריח שלו ואת הטעם שלו לפי מה שהאדם מזין את עצמו.
So you can become food free just off of the knowledge of sexual cultivation.
ורק דרך הידע הזה של שימור האנרגיה המינית והתנועה הזאת ליצור את המסלול שלה, אפשר גם להשתחרר מהאוכל, זה גם דרך שעוזר להשתחרר
And they even got machines now where they can scan the brain, and when you have an orgasm down here, the brain actually lights up and go out for a minute, and it comes back on just like a light going in and out. You just drained the battery.
יש מכשירים שמודדים ברגע של אורגזמה כמה חשמל נדלק, המוח נדלק, אבל אז הוא נקבע כי החשמל בורח, משתחרר, נוזל החוצה, ואז אתה פשוט סחטת את עצמך, כיבית את הבטריה, את המצבר.
So there's been people on the pranic path, and due to having too many orgasms, it forced them to go back eating external foods to replace what they just lost.
אנשים שניסו להחזיק מעמד בצורת חיים הזאת וכן קיימו יחסים ואיבדו זרע, אז היו צריכים לחזור ולאכול כי הם התישו את הגוף שלהם.
So in order to keep that from happening, guess what? You stop having an orgasm.
An orgasm, you mean? You mean an orgasm without ejaculation?
Right.
אז אתה נמנע מאורגזמה שכוללת שפיכת זרע.
Because this is all on the same pole now. The gonads down here, the brain is up here, but what's above is a below and vice versa. They nourishing each other.
יש את החיבור ואת התקשורת בין איברי המין לבין המוח ואיך הם משפיעים אחד על השני כל הזמן.
So we're redirecting the energies from being used to going this way. We want them to come up with no hindrances, and that's how the body is going to get its energy.
אנחנו
The
רוצים
brain.
ליצור זרימה עליונה לכיוון למעלה, כלפי מעלה של הנוזלים כדי להזין את המוח. לחזור גם למקור, to go back to the source where it was created. The sperm is created in the brain.
The brain is, the sperm is created in the brain. But when it makes its cycle, to go down to the gonads, is created into something else that's even more potent when it left the brain. So when it makes it back to the brain, it's a whole nother energy. 100 times more potent than when it left.
האנרגיה שעולה בחזרה למוח היא עוברת גם בתוך איברי המין תהליכים נוספים של תאנה, ואז היא עולה מוטענת פי 100 ממה שהיא ירדה מהמוח לאיברי המין ולשכן.
So that's what it's all about again. Energy, vibration. That's what we talk about, raising our vibration. You raise your vibration in your body to a certain degree, it will naturally, by its nature, go to these certain places.
ברגע שאנחנו נרים את התדר של הגוף שלנו, באופן טבעי גם תהיה הזרימה הזאת ללא מאמץ של נוזלי המין.
And notice that this isn't esoteric knowledge again. Well, not esoteric. Hard, far-fetched knowledge. Everything is practical.
הכל הוא מעשי, זה לא רחוק ובלתי מושג.
But you have to allow your body time to raise its vibration slowly and get used to maintaining that new frequency.
לאפשר לגוף להרים את התדר בצורה הדרגתית וגם להחזיק את התדר הזה.
And then when it gets used to maintaining that, it's a whole other ballgame. You are there. You have arrived.
ברגע שהגוף יכול להכיל את זה, אז זה כבר שם, אתה הגעת.
And notice how, okay, I was at Nasik's house in Damona, talking, you was with me, still talking. Now, do I look like I'm thirsty, falling out all over the place? I do this. This is an energy. Your body did it so much, you got used to it.
הגוף גם מתרגל לרמות אנרגיה הגבוהות.
But it's all energy work again. But the mucus ain't holding it back. You know, you're a whole nother being. So we'd be surprised what food would do. So again, we're not saying to eat or not to eat. That's just a small portion. But what we do know is how you work with these energy flows, because that's what our whole life is dealing with. You'll just become better at working with it.
When you started before 19 years, you said?
19 years.
So in the beginning, it was something you hear. How you connect to this, and what was the process that you made for it? So that you said you had in the beginning like discipline. One day in a week, you fast, yeah?
Right.
And then, how it goes? Like,
Well,
how
for
you
me-
get to a point?
For me, my mind always been geared to living for your highest potential. So when I find out something, I just got that personality. That's where I'm going to see what I can do. So that's how I am. And then number two is, I took a process of taking steps, slowly lightening up your diet. Getting used to that frequency, don't take it fast. That's the process, and that's what I teach people.
לעשות את התזונה יותר קלילה.
לאט לאט.
לאט לאט, כן.
Even when you're dealing with your lifestyle, you know, 1 minute I worked on diet, then I put the exercise in, soon I added the meditation, soon I added the fasting. If you try to do that all at once, that's overwhelming and you're not able to handle that frequency to jump from here to there.
זה
Don't do
בצורה
that to yourself.
הדרגתית, להכניס מהתרגול, להכניס הצום בצורה הדרגתית, חצי יום בשבוע, יום בשבוע, או צום של נוזלים יום בשבוע.
שעה בשבוע.
Hmm?
שעה
He
בשבוע.
says 1 hour in a week. That's enough.
Yeah, 1 hour in a week. That's a start.
Yeah?
I remember what somebody told me one time, y'all take yoga class once a week. Hey, that's what it is, that's what it is.
Not when you're sleeping.
But there is an age like when there are babies and they grow up, yeah, they have to eat, yeah, for to develop their
Right, I don't teach that at all. Because nature shows us a lot of stuff dealing with processes. Even for a young person, their brain ain't even fully developed till they're 25. You know what I mean? In the physical body, like I started off the seminar, it needs physical food. So I don't put that on no kid whatsoever. It's not his fault. Don't go starving the kid. I gotta tell people that.
So you can start when which age you can start fasting, like not eating, because when you're a baby you have to take milk from your mother, and then because you're
Right, because the whole idea was the baby comes out the mother, go to the mother. Then it goes to Mother Earth. Then it's supposed to go to Sky Father. See, that was the knowledge that was cut out. Sky Father means living off the ethers. We got stuck at the Mother Earth part. Then it got chaotic. Now, when a child has responsibility for itself, like when my son turned 19 and stuff, he was more on his own, he's ready to do it on himself. As long as they're under your care, you should at least lead them to a healthy lifestyle. You know, when you got a family, you should at least lead them to eat healthy. Bottom line.
שיהיה אחריות, שיהיה מאכלים בריאים בבית.
That makes sense.
בריא
אבל
בבית.
באיזה גיל אפשר
That's prana. And see,
לא הבנתי באיזה גיל אפשר להפסיק לאכול מבחינת הגוף שהוא מתפתח.
אוקיי, מגיל 25 בערך. I'm telling him from 25, more or less.
Right.
Until 25 you have to eat for develop your
Yeah, הגוף
physical
עדיין
body.
גדל ומתפתח.
You have to eat.
oh, well, you asked me, will you have responsibility for yourself?
No,
See,
I ask you if until which age you have to eat to eat the physical.
well, I'm
material.
not, well, check this out. A child that the parent has to take care of, it can't take care of itself. The parent should take care of that child. When that child can take care of itself, that's when he could go into the process. If you give it an age, we're giving it a law now. You know what I mean? That's not for us to do.
Yeah. No, but like from 13 to 18, his body is still developed, yeah?
Right, and his parents still taking care of it.
Not even if he is without parents.
שרון, אתה יכול להתחיל כבר.
אני ברור, לא, אני מעניינתי כאילו...
She says you can start it.
בטוח?
Oh, no, okay. I'm not going to give it no age. I'm not going to give it no age. When they're conscious enough to understand the science that I'm teaching.
What I asking is not the age, is if it's a matter of consciousness or there is some process you have to go by physical food. Like if...
It's both of them.
Okay, if he's 10 years old and he has the conscience, so he can stop eating when his body is still developed, this is what I'm asking.
Oh, no, see, we're going in a circle again. He's 10 years old. No, a 10-year-old, I wouldn't tell him to do that. He don't got the consciousness. Don't ask me, do he have? He don't. See, usually when I tell people, ask me a question for yourself, Because all we're going to do is go into a conversation, hypernize a scenario that don't exist, that not with us right now. Like one woman told me about, well, what if I'm in the desert? And you're never going to be in the desert without no food. You're scared to even walk down the street by yourself. Ask the question for yourself, right? Or we be doing these hypothetical, like I'm a computer and supposed to say, well, I don't know.
Okay. That's a good question.
Right. Oh, man.
And any other creature on the planet uses this
Wow.
animals, mammals that...
Oh, there's a lot of them that hibernate for number one. A lot of them hibernate. A lot of them have, I think the squid is rated for being immortal. Then we have a lot of them. Then we have a lot of them that have biological immortality. They could live a long time if somebody didn't kill them. All right. So we got a lot of that going on dealing with nature. Now, what makes us a little different than nature, nature's extreme. We're very extreme. We're the only creature, for number one, that can actually understand universal laws that are visible and do them. Other animals can't do that.
רק אנחנו יכולים להבין חוקים קוסמיים בלתי נראים ולקיים אותם. הבעלי חיים לא יכולים להבין בתודעה, באינסטינקט ולא בתודעה.
Thought is the first phase of physical matter. Thought is the first phase of physical matter. So we humans, we are extreme creatures. You can transform the environment more than any other creature can to fit how you want it to fit. So by us being that extreme, you can even transform yourself. We do it all the time. Anybody here become a bodybuilder? You understand? You can train yourself to start running marathons.
כל אחד יכול לבנות את
With the
השרירים
consciousness
שלו,
in the
לרוץ
training.
מרתון, אם אתה רק רוצה
We
מודעות
have this
לזה.
benefit because humans are thinking.
We're thinking beings. Other beings is thinking
It's
too.
different from other animals.
Yeah, and plus we got the right tools with a thumb. We're walking on bipedal, which is good for energy conservation. That means that you got this in your favor. Just by me standing up, the toxicity is automatically want to leave my organs and go down and get out. Just by that, you got that in your favor. You ain't even got to try hard. How do I detoxify? You detoxify every time you use the bathroom, your body getting rid of it. And it's grabbing the energy, it's conserving it. It's doing a good job for it. The heart is way up here, and it got stuff all on it only if you put it there.
He wants to ask
I just want to say something, not a question, because I need to go. And ever responsible about the magic box. Everybody, when you leave, you can have please. 5 shekels, more, what you can. Thank you too.
Thank you. You've been wonderful.
יניב, אתה באמת מדהים, תודה רבה, תמשיך להתפתח.
Don't worry, I'll learn how to do my talk here in Hebrew in a minute.
תודה.
You will.
Yeah. I've been learning. The Stein Shalosh.
Believe it or not, this is not a question. I'd just like to say, now I understand why I failed at fasting when I tried to go on liquid fast, with like fruit juices and whatnot, about 3 separate times for a week. And I noticed by the time the last day, I'd be starving. I go a week, but I'm starving all week.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, boom, I just start back eating.
Right.
But I don't never think about it, like you said, with meditating and concentrating and
That's
doing
the
stuff like
bread and butter.
I always used to jump up and okay, I'm gonna go on a break fast. I'm gonna go on maple syrup.
That's the bread.
Different liquid fasts.
Right.
And I would be so hungry. One time I was on this grape juice fast, and my bot was standing me then. She said, "You sure you don't want nothing to eat?" I was hungry as I don't know what. I said, "No, I ain't eating." Then by the time the end of the day came, I was in about my 4th day. I said, "Go on, give me a sandwich," because I was starving. And that sandwich seemed like that helped me so. And then I went on, you know, the rest of the 7 days on the fast. But now I can see why, because I didn't really put enough thought and meditate, you know.
That's where it's at. You ain't the only
one.
one. A lot of people who was coming into the food-free experience didn't have the meditation behind them. They just concentrating on the food,
and
having a hard time. Why am I still hungry? Why my hunger won't go away? Something's wrong with the process. No, nothing wrong with the process.
But that doesn't mean that she failed at that.
No, that you learn.
Yeah.
Now you know everything came together. And then you might want to too. Remember when I say make your journey a lot more user-friendly for yourself? If a week is tough, start out with 3 days until you master it. I tell people, master 1 day before you try to do more.
Because I know it was some people was going like 3 weeks and all that.
Right.
I was like, man, one sister went 7.
And don't try to keep up with the Joneses either.
It's like, dang, why am I so hungry?
And then it's just like you've been a breatharian on that path for 19 years.
Right.
You had not eaten since 2017.
Right.
Okay, but in that 19-year process, but you still get credit for that 19-year process.
Absolutely.
Even though in between there, you might have had to, it's the same process.
That's the same process.
So it
Just what she
doesn't
said.
mean that, so you still accomplished that, but then maybe you might need to eat a little something.
Oh, but this is where it goes back
to.
to.
That might tend to your mindset, and you eat a little something. Sometimes you can smell something.
This is where it goes back to.
This
is why we say the process is to eat very little or none at all. Always been on the process no matter what you do. So like what I said to her, she said, what I said, make sure the family, when they eat, at least feed them healthy. That's the pranic path. Because it's dealing with energy. See, the whole thing is just dealing with energy. There is some foods that have a higher energy content than others.
And also in assisting in the way of fasting, like what you mentioned about the smell, there are people that help themselves by smelling herbs or essential oils, or just having the fruits and looking and smelling them and nourishing them. It can be a kind of help.
I had somebody say that today. I never went through that experience, but they did.
Because I can smell stuff and feel it all the way in my stomach.
It's nourishing, the
Oh,
smell
absolutely.
sense.
See, we're powerful beings, just off of stuff like that. Other animals probably ain't talking like that. Look how we talking. We like, what? Scientists. This is what this is. Knowledge. Always discovering, rediscovering, searching, seeking things out, seeking how to do things differently. This is what we do. So again, dealing with this food pandemic. Now, the problem with the world right now is they abuse the energies. The food is there in the first world country. We overate it. I ate enough for all of us. And the thing about it, now check this out. Here I am, don't eat right now, but I still remember the memories when I did. I remember my favorite dishes, and I know how I got overweight. I know how to do it now. You pay me enough, I'll do it for you.
But you don't need money, remember?
Right. Well, we'll find something to do with it.
First you
We ain't gonna be that naive now.
You have to
We'll find something to do with it.
find the sponsor first.
Yeah. I'll show you how to do it.
And
1
what
week,
about sleeping?
your sleep will decrease without a shadow of a doubt. It takes a lot of energy just to digest food. Keep that in mind. That's why when people start eating less and none at all, you will sleep less. Because the reason why you sleep in the first place is to regenerate, recuperate. You start getting healthier, you need less sleep.
How many hours, for example?
Well, for me, I learned how to cut it down. For me, it's about 4 hours, 2 to 4 hours, depending on what I got going on and all this other stuff, because everything's an energy. We working on something we real hyped up about, dang, you don't want to go to sleep. I learned how to cut it down when I first came on this. I couldn't sleep at all. And then I got crazy and I started sleeping, sitting up in a chair like this when my spine was still straight up and down, so I was like always in a meditation. So somebody, before they got to the house, I could see them coming. I sensed them. Right. So but now, it was fun when I had a lot of life going on. You know, like I was building this community center. It was a big project. I was always up. But then when the project was complete, this is what get people. What do I do with myself now? So a lot of people that come onto this path, they gain this energy. They don't know what to do with themselves, so what do they start doing? Eating again. Because they're bored, don't know what to do with the energy. So this will open up the door for more energy. But if you don't have a project, nothing to do, you can find yourself dipping and dabbing in here and putting yourself back to sleep. That's maybe what you're doing.
So what's your tip not to get into this situation?
Work your creative energy. Do what you really want to do in life.
Right.
That's what it boils down to, what you really want to do. And even if you eat something you really want to eat. That's where it gets good. See, a person that eat every day, you really ain't tasting the food. You really taste the food when you get back up a little bit and then taste it again. You taste everything in it.
I'd just like to add one point. We have to also remember what eating is for. As you
What it's for.
What it's for. Okay, you eat because you want to eat, but think about why you're eating.
Right.
Because most times, we as wise humans on this planet, we just eat just to be eating.
Just eat just to be eaten. That's what got over.
And that's a consciousness.
Uh-huh.
That's really a consciousness. That we can start first before you even start cutting out food.
Right.
To understand what the purpose of energy is.
Right.
Eat for the source of the energy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That will determine what you eat and how you eat.
Whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And going back to what you were saying earlier about how food brings families together and stuff, and that is one of the number one rituals. We can't lie on that. But at the same time, that don't mean that you have to go all the way out within the ritual. Now, remember I told you I just got the picture of Pop and the little ice cream. Everybody else had the big plates. I didn't have to go there. I know my body's going to get rid of that real easy. That's why I got something easy for it to get rid of. I'm back on the system again the next day. But it was that time period of, okay, come on, children.
Why did we block this energy at the first place?
Oh, man, we could go on and on with that one.
That's a wonderful
You don't have
question.
to answer. Well,
I didn't hear that question in all of this month that we're teaching and holding conferences.
Why?
Wonderful.
And it could be for the experience of life, because even on a food-free journey, why would you want to do it? After a while, like what I said earlier, you are exploring consciousness. It's an exploration. So I guess when we went to go eat like we did, that was another exploration.
Okay.
See, one time I even did myself, I was walking along, food-free and everything, but one time I walked past a sushi restaurant. And I never tasted sushi before. But I remember people talking about what sushi tastes like. And I said, I never ate sushi before. So what popped in my head was, there's nowhere in the world I'm going to live this lifetime and never see what sushi tastes like. Because I can. So I went in there, tasted sushi. Whoa, this is good. So I spent the next week going to that restaurant, tasting the different things of sushi. But once the week was over, I didn't feel like doing it no more. The experience was over. See, this is the power of it. It's an experience. I could put it down. It had nothing to do with energy. It ain't had nothing to do with nothing else. I enjoyed myself. I ain't had to keep doing it for the rest of my life for whatever reason. It's over. Didn't pick it up since. This is what we're talking about.
Because usually we repeat something we like because it's
Oh.
good, so we want more and more
Right.
of these goods.
And the thing about this path, when you add in the meditation, working with the light, even the foods that are good that you like, I say enjoy them, but stick with your meditation, because there'll be a day where the food will not taste the same no more. Naturally. So you'll be putting things down naturally, and that's the process. It's not a forced event at all. So this is good.
Yeah.
So right now,
I have
we're winding
this
down.
if we need, or we wind it down.
Right. We're winding down to enjoy the rest of this full moon.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Israel, so I'll be back through here again. Of course, Mitzpeh Ramon, of course.
And if anybody
retreat
from
coming up.
Israel is hearing us here, so I want to say that we have one last retreat starting this Thursday, Friday and Saturday. יש לנו ריטריט פרנה, שמאנים, יסודות שמאנים, אחרון ביום חמישי הזה, שישי ושבת, בחוות טבע האדם, in the resort, in מושב נירצבי. Please contact me on my Facebook page, Ayala Diaz in English. And we'd love to see you with us. Make an opportunity this time to grab it. Yes.
And the retreats is wonderful because now you're in an atmosphere of people of like minds, the synergy, and we're talking this constantly and we're working with it. And we're doing the meditations. That's a whole nother ball game. And it will bring you closer to say, man, I'm working with this everywhere you go. The same energy that's here, it's in America, it's in Africa, it's in Europe, it's in China. It don't change the program. I am who I am.
And it's a great boost.
It's a great boost.
Really, yeah.
Which meditation you make in the course?
Those I usually deal with microcosmic orbit, Merkaba meditation, Qigong. We do a lot of Qigong, and we do breath work. And then others, what other people get, we do the Yoga Nidra now. That's another thing, reprogramming the subconscious body. So we're doing a whole lot of sessions throughout the day. So it's a...
Don't it?
And now there, it's up to you. I usually get the group together. See, because we changed it to where you shouldn't have too much stress on the body. Food is just a small portion. But when you're working with the meditations and working with these energies, you start making that choice on what to put in your body. But it is regulated, but it's at a minimum.
And people usually, like I see them, I was amazed, now it's really natural.